Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark. I'm your host, Eric. Why is my sweater off? It's supposed to be visible so you guys can see the chillness. Total failure. I literally dropped everything. How's everybody doing tonight? How's it going? What's happening? Is it cold where you are? It's really cold here. Very, very cold. Oh. You know what? We'll just leave it there. I'm not dealing with it right now. Anyway, how's everyone doing? We got a few things to talk about tonight. We got a bunch of James Gunn rumors debunked, if you will. Stuff that we didn't know that I really want to talk about. Some of it's pretty exciting. Some of it's a little interesting. We're going to talk about some stuff from Rian Johnson in terms of his response to some things Kathleen Kennedy said. And then we have a few other smaller topics, so I'm pretty excited to get into stuff tonight. Anyway, let's see here. Where are we at? All right. Sorry. Saw a little error pop up. There we go. We've got someone in the green room. Let's go ahead and pull this individual up on stage. It is Ronan from Ronan Unchained. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Are you out and about? Are you editing? What's happening with you?
All of the above.
Happy birthday, Dalton. Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños, Dalton.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Harrison in the house. Good to see you. Fetman Plays is here. Dullboy Reed's in the building. We're back on a Monday. Feels weird. I had 2 weeks that I was doing this on a Tuesday, so it's strange to be back on a Monday. I almost forgot. My phone alerted me like an hour ago, and they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to have a stream." Oh, okay. Forgot about that. Lone Wolf's in the building. What's up, Jose? Good to see you. Anyway, we got a few things to talk about. We're going to react to a couple of videos. There's a really funny one that I'll save for later. If we get enough people in here early enough, we will do one of the quick ranking things, spend like 15 minutes jumping through one of those. I'm not sure which one we'll do. We'll see if anybody shows up. Anybody else shows up. Because I'm not sure. I was under the weather all weekend. It's going around, man. Everybody's like catching something.
Yeah.
And I did not really have a voice. I couldn't even make videos for today. Typically, I don't usually make videos on Saturday and Sunday. I kind of take the weekend off. But then I record videos for Mondays. And I just couldn't last night. And today I woke up and I finally felt better, but I had so many things to do that I couldn't even make videos. So yeah, it was bad. It was rough. It wasn't COVID, but it was definitely not fun at all. Darren is also sick. Is he still sick? He was sick on Thursday.
I think so. I think he's still a little under the weather, I think. Okay. I don't want to quote him.
Yeah. Tomorrow is supposed to have the largest solar flare storm in 20 years. Oh, my God. Can we catch a break? Can we...
No, are you kidding me? If there's a dude upstairs, he's laughing his ass off. Be like, what's this?
Darren says, I had COVID. Oh, so you're over it. You don't have it anymore. I'm glad you got through it. COVID, there's a weird thing with COVID now where it's like a really bad flu, but it still sucks. Like, you don't want to catch it if you've got any other conditions. Not good. Let's see here. What else do we have going on? Anything happening with you, man? What's going on? I know you were busy and you've been doing a lot of stuff. Has anything else been going on with you?
It's the time of the year, man, where like work is so stressful with like time and hours, and then you throw in what's been happening since literally day one of the year, and then you throw in I got some family stuff I gotta take care of, and then you throw off, all right, I gotta cover, A Night of Seven Kingdoms, Wonder Man, and other stuff, and it's like I really wish. And listen, I don't ask for much, and I don't do this stuff. I just really wish a lot of this shit went away, and that I just had one lucky night in Vegas, and I could just pay off everything I didn't have to worry about, and I could just, I will happily run naked across my neighborhood and go, singing "Born in the USA" by Bruce Springsteen, and be like, all right, I don't have to worry about alarm clocks, a bill, going to work. I'm like, you know what? Give somebody the hours that day, and so thankfully I'm a nerd, so I can get balance it out. But it's been a lot of stuff. Again, I mean, between covering A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, an anime review, something I can't talk about yet, and then other stuff that I got planned out. It's a lot. I just wish I could make money off this shit.
Yeah. No, I get it 100%. We do have someone in the green room.
Oh,
Joe is here. What's up, Joe?
Hey.
Joe, I have to say, I don't mean to like ambush you in the beginning here, but it's really funny reading the comments when people hear some of your takes in the comment section of my videos. It always makes me smile because sometimes you have some really good like alternate takes on things and people just don't expect it. So the comments are like, "What is he talking about?" What?
Well, I don't know. And I don't mean your channel. I don't mean your channel. I don't mean your panelists, because I know the people. I know you, and I know the people on here. They're honest people. They say what they think. But Little Movie Perp and I have talked a lot about meme culture. And I do believe that meme culture has been destructive to the film industry, because once something gets memed, for lack of a better term, I feel like the internet has adopted that as this is the proper answer. This is what this is. And I've even seen it in film criticism where people are like, this is already being memed. And it's like, well, once something becomes the meme, it's like that's the decision the collective internet has made about this. And it's like, we've decided this is what it is. And in my time, I've realized that's not always correct. Even going back before we used the word meme, back in 2001, Fox canceled Firefly way early. And it created this perception for years that if you put a sci-fi show on Fox, they're going to cancel it. And that ceased to be true. But you still kept hearing it repeated. Right. Because the internet had decided this is the way it is. Like you had a show like Fringe, which despite poor ratings, always managed to skate by. Fox kept that on the air for 5 years. So I think what I do is I just give honest opinions, but they don't often align with what the
meme
internet
culture
has put out there as this is the answer. This is the way it is.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people just kind of raise their eyebrows like, what? That's not.
I find it all entertaining. People take stuff too seriously. I think it's all pretty funny to me.
Most of the time I take it as entertainment. Like our Star Wars talk was amazing. And I was like, what the fuck? But then again, if you guys seen my stuff, if you guys heard me talk these past few times I've been on the show, like I love Star Wars so much. It's part of my DNA. But I always say when I talk about it this way, I don't feel like I own it, and I don't feel like it owes me anything.
Right.
It'd be nice I get to be part of it one day, but like and again, who knows? Maybe I'm lying to myself. I don't know. Maybe I just go by the wrong way because I'm the same dude that would camp out to go see a movie marathon and do this and do that. But I have a limit, especially the more I do this, I realize, well, a lot of people took a lot of time to make a movie that I don't fully like. And I have to respect that to a percentage. Doesn't mean I have to bend the knee or bend over and be like, have at it. But like, I don't know. Like it's a fascinating. I am fascinated by the personalities that surround this platform and how they perceive fandoms, they perceive franchises, and how I either see a lack of balance or I see them leaning into one way or the other. And I'm just like, I would like to be in the same maybe room, but doesn't mean I want to sit at the same table and be in a conversation with you. I would like to just see from afar, be like, wow, this is a great, like, fucked up psychology class that I want to be part of for one semester, not the whole year for. I don't know. It's fascinating. Again, I'm not losing sleep over it. I don't think.
It's like what you just said there. It's like, look, I'm friends with the guy. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. Full disclosure, I like the guy. I'm going to always come to his defense. But I recently saw a short by my friend Matt Jarbo. And Matt said that Kathleen Kennedy, he was frustrated because in her exit comments to leaving Lucasfilm, she said her only mistake was recasting Han Solo, and he's like, she's got to admit that Last Jedi was just a bad movie. It was just a bad movie, and I'm like, that's a ridiculous statement. That's a ridiculous statement because while some people didn't like that movie, other people loved that movie. You don't have to admit that something was bad when that is not an absolute. That there's no scenario where that's an absolute.
Yeah. I've said before, I don't think either one of you guys have been on when I've talked about this, but when I look at a piece of media, whether it be a TV show or a movie or an album or anything like that, it takes a lot for me to say it's awful. And it's not because I don't like something. It's because I know that people that worked on something worked really hard on it, whether it was successful or not. You know what I mean? And so when a movie doesn't succeed, I don't revel in the movie's failure. I think that's awful. These are people that, whether you don't like the writer or you don't like an actor, there are people that worked on that project that wanted it to be good, that wanted it to succeed, you know, and they've never done anything to you as an individual. So why you revel in the failure of something is a little odd to me. You know what I mean? These are people who love art. They love making movies. They love making TV shows. So when I give something like a 1 or a 2, I really don't want to do that. I feel like if you give something a 1, that's pretty much a failure on every account. Like that means it failed in everything: script, acting, production, sound design, set pieces. There was literally nothing of redeemable value in this thing you watched if you give it a 1 or you say that it's garbage. Like you're saying there's nothing in there that's redeemable. And I do believe, you talked about meme culture, I think in essence, the internet judges movies on 10 out of 10 successful or 1 out of 1, 0 out of 0 failure. There's no room for discussion about stuff. Yeah, about stuff that's in the middle. Because the truth is, most things are just in the middle. Like most TV shows are just okay. Most movies are just okay. You might lean one way or the other, but they're still going to fall in that middle category, somewhere between a 4 and a 7, which is where most things sit. And if you can't look at something and understand that what you wanted from something is not what you're reviewing it on, once you realize that, your concept and your interpretation of media will become a lot bigger. You'll be able to understand things a lot better. Reviewing something based on, I think Birdman said this, and a couple other people that I've talked with have told me about this. People that actually work in the industry have said, you do not review a movie based on what the movie didn't do or what you wanted the movie to be. Mm-hmm. You review the movie based on what it did do and what it did well and what it didn't do well. That's what you review a movie based on. That's how you judge a movie. A lot of people now judge movies based on what they aren't or what their expectations of the movie were. And that's not a fair way to accurately judge what you're watching, because then you're scoring it you're grading it on a scale. And the scale could be anywhere. That number could be anywhere in your mind. So JYCV here says, I remember Chris Stuckman talking about that same thing. People think it's trash. Others say it's a masterpiece, but there's no room for nuance anymore. I will take 100 really good movies over the worst movies ever or the best movies ever. I think there's much more there in those kinds of movies because you get to see the ups and the downs.
We got to remember that it's okay to be just okay.
Yeah.
It's everything sucks or everything's the greatest thing ever. It's okay to be just okay. When people say mid, there's nothing wrong with mid.
No.
Without mid, you don't have great. If everything is great, then great becomes mid.
Right. It's like the whole thing from The Incredibles. Remember The Incredibles? Once everybody's super, no one's super. If everything is perfect, then there's no bad. There's no mid. It's just everything is perfect, and that's just, you're never going to reach that. It's an unattainable goal.
Yeah, it's like even with movies now, like a movie that like it got a sequel, but like one I will never get me like The Accountant. I effing love that movie. I know it's at best a 6 or 7 out of 10 out of most people's like thoughts on it, but it found an audience to get a sequel. But it's like it's not gonna go down as some of the best films of the 21st century. You know, but I'm like, but I own that Blu-ray. And I liked it, and I like what it made me feel and all that stuff. And so I'm like, I'll run with that. It's the same thing with like I don't know, like a show that is so good, but it's not getting that much attention right now.
The best show could be one that no one's ever seen.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. Like there's an anime that came out last year and nobody really talked about it. And in essence, I was kind of proud that I was talking about it when I was, but I would hope that one day it finds its audience and be like, all right, now it's being perceived that way. Look at some of the, you know, even when we talk about the best movies of all time, like a couple of them, when they first appeared, they bombed. The two examples I always go back to is John Carpenter's The Thing and Blade Runner. Those movies bombed.
Yeah.
And then later on in life, it got a resurgence, and that's almost the most blessing thing you could do in cinema.
Citizen Kane bombed. It's a Wonderful Life bombed. The Wizard of Oz bombed. These are all movies that found their life on second hand.
Yeah, again, and like even studios now, it's either got to be a ton of money, or it's got to be super, super, super cheap. It can't be in the middle. Like, there's no more room for like $30 million films all the time. It's always the big stuff or the super, super small stuff, and it's sad in that way. And again, I am weird. I have a lot of taste in what I like. I don't always want the same thing. Sometimes I want consistency. Sometimes I want something fresh and something to swing that I don't expect.
Right.
And that goes with my IPs as well. You know, Star Wars is a great example. Sometimes I want to swing. Sometimes I'm like, you know, that swing did not land for me. I'm good. And again, I don't always, you know, the good example I always go to is Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett. As a whole, those two shows, I didn't like them as a whole. There are great episodes and scenes and moments in them, no doubt. But as a whole, I didn't. At the end of it, I was like, I don't know how long when I'll revisit those shows again. But I don't go out of my way every other day to make 20 videos of why that show was so bad and why so ruined it for me and all that stuff. I'm like, no. Someone asked me about it, I'll let you know my thoughts on it. But that's just on my own perspective. I can't. That's why I you know, again, do I want to hang out with influencers? Sure. Do I want to be considered an influencer? No. But I want to get the piece for it. But I don't want to influence people on it. I'll give you my take. You want to hear what Ronan thinks? Talk to me, and that's it. I can't tell you more than that.
Yeah, I agree. I did want to pull up a comment here from JYCV. Says the worst kinds of YouTubers who say the movie is objectively bad when in reality it's just their opinion. 99% of the time, art is subjective because you're unless you okay. So let me frame this in a way that makes sense. When you are judging art on your own personal taste, there is no objectivity on that because you are giving your own personal critique of that art. And that's okay. You can do that. We all do that. That's what I do. I subjectively talk about things that I like and I don't like because that's what I like to do. But I would never say something is objectively one way or another if I was not a trained professional, because then that would not be a critique. It would be an evaluation. And there's a difference. Someone can evaluate art. Like if you're a professor, you're somebody that works for a living as a teacher, you can evaluate whether the art is done in the proper way that particular style of art requires you to do it. For example, you can't do pop art and call it abstract. That would be objectively not what that is, because those things are not the same. But if somebody makes a piece of pop art that you don't like because you just don't find it pleasing or interesting, that makes it subjectively bad to you, but not objectively wrong or bad because you're not evaluating it, if that makes any sense.
But I'll piggyback off what you're saying and saying that even then the art isn't objectively bad. It's the labeling. You labeled it wrong.
Right. Or, for example, if you're doing human anatomy and something is incorrectly placed in that, or you're doing realism and something in that is not correct, those kinds of things are objective. You can look at those things and you can evaluate them. But that's not the same thing as art criticism. Like, art criticism is like, I think it's bad because I don't like it. That is subjective. That is entirely a subjective opinion. Yeah, and GoGo Party Time says YouTubers are not trained critics, trained in art, making, or aesthetics. They don't even know the history. There was a tweet today, which, by the way, I heard Threads is really blowing up now. Apparently, Threads is now beating Twitter in terms of daily users. So that's pretty incredible.
Also extremely right wing again, just like Twitter.
It is, but it has better guardrails against a lot of stuff, though. It still lets you report things. But you're right. But I had a comment earlier where someone, I can't remember who it was now, it was on the cesspool of Twitter, where they were mad in Starfleet Academy that there was a character that was using sign language because they're in the future, and they're like, oh, they should be able to cure that, and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, first of all, we don't know enough about, I don't want to spoil the episodes, I'm trying to be good about this. We don't know enough about the culture of that particular alien species to know for sure exactly how they would handle those things. We know some things about them. We don't know everything about them. And I researched it because I looked it up. I was like, has this ever been covered in canon? It hadn't been. But there are some people who choose not to get surgeries. There are people who choose not to do things. We don't understand that. And you're judging a TV show based on the second episode of a season. And I've said this before when I used to review Arrowverse stuff. You can critique things that are supposed to be answered in the episode, but you cannot judge and critique things that you don't get an answer for before the season is done because you're still watching the show. So we don't know if that thing is ever going to be mentioned again.
Right.
So to get mad about it now on the second episode of what, an 8-10 episode season doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. And that's because those people that make those comments do not understand how to critique art. They don't understand how to critique TV shows. Maybe they're a movie person. Newsflash, when a movie is done, you can subjectively critique that movie in its entirety because it's a full movie. When you're watching a TV show, you have to watch the whole season before you can give any opinions about plot holes or loose ends that you might have seen in the second episode of the show. It's just, it's so infuriating. It really is. Hassan says, Starfleet Academy, I found it a bit cringe. I'll wait till it ends, then binge. I thought the first and the second episode had jarring differences in tone to me that I found unpleasant. I kind of wanted a third episode to sort of bookend whatever they were going for. But I'm still excited to watch it. I think it's got a lot of interesting elements to it. Jake has arrived, but it looks like he's on mobile.
Yeah, StreamYard's doing a funky thing where for some reason, for now, this is like the second time in a row where the link's not wanting to work quite right. So I'm just going to wait till it does its thing and then I'll switch over.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is.
They don't like you over at StreamYard.
No,
I think it's a conspiracy.
It was working fine on Ronan's stream earlier. I've only had that problem here. Maybe you don't like me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to restart the room soon anyway because I need to redo everything.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, I'll explain later. Anyway, so here's the first bit of news we're going to talk about. OpenAI, aka ChatGPT, is rapidly losing money and is projected to lose $14 billion in 2026 alone. If they can't get another round of funding from the government or outside investors, OpenAI could run out of money as soon as 2027. So we're talking just a couple of years before these companies start going out of business. Because guess what? There's too many of them, and the technology is everywhere. Everybody has their own little AI running around doing stuff, and ChatGPT just isn't different enough to keep up. I also want to point out, ChatGPT also has a lot of restrictions. After a certain amount of time, it will tell you have to pay for premium to get access to all of their tools and stuff. When places like Twitter and YouTube and Google AI have less restrictions on that. But ChatGPT is considered the best one in terms of like what it does. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. What do you guys think about this? Any thoughts on this?
Done with that.
No opinions on
I just wish it'd be done.
yeah. All of them have restrictions, Superior Nav, but ChatGPT has the lowest barrier of entry on restrictions. You get maybe 15 inputs before it starts like bumping you down on the list, and you get locked out of stuff.
And watch, everybody that was supporting AI the entire time is going to go real quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah. I didn't say you compare. I compared it. I was comparing it. I didn't say you did. I was replying to this comment and then adding context of myself to it. So I never
Context?
said you did. Yeah, context. I know, it's crazy. My friend made ChatGPT his girlfriend.
I don't know who I feel worse for, that algorithm or that friend.
There are AI sites where you can actually have romantic relationships, and they're designed for that. Completely designed for that.
Yeah. The worst part is that there are people in the world that would utilize them.
There's a couple of them that are pretty bad. I actually was going to do a video on this, so I researched a bunch of them. Most of them are paywalled. There's one on mobile called Replica, which has been around for a while. That one's paywalled, but that one allows you to talk to your AI companion. Most of them are just text inputs.
Oh, well, they're afraid to gender it, so they just call it companion.
Yep, that's what it is. But yeah, there's another one called, I don't know why it's called this, Janitor AI. I have no clue why you would want to use an AI called Janitor, but that's what it is.
It probably does. It's probably is going to do exactly what the title suggests, and not clean your software. It's probably going to make it more convoluted.
Yeah, Grok needs to be banned. Well, so the funny thing about that is, if you ever went on Twitter for any amount of time, there's a litany of people saying, "Hey, take this person's picture and remove their clothes." And it was happening to a lot of people, and it did not actually account for ages, right?
Yep.
So there was a lot of people doing some really fucked up shit, and it was threatened to be banned. So they decided to move it behind the paywall. So now you can't tell it to do anything to pictures unless you're a paid user. That's the only way. Which, even then now, apparently you can't replace people's bodies. But the fact that you could do that anyway, I mentioned this back when they first added that feature. I was like, this is going to turn into a nightmare. Yeah. You're going to get people doing this all over the place.
I don't know how they didn't foresee that.
Yeah, I feel like they did and they just didn't care. Anthony here says, ChatGPT is also not profitable mostly because of the infrastructure cost doubt. The competition has much to do with it. No, I do think it's a competition. Everything has AI. I can use Google AI for free. I don't even need to touch ChatGPT. Matter of fact, they force it on you. If I go to Google and I do a search for almost anything, it's going to give me an AI summary. So you don't even really have to use it for anything. All right. We got a member chat from Lone Wolf here. Member for 62 months. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf.
That's a lot of months.
Yeah. Are either of you excited for Project Hail Mary? I'm excited for it.
Yes.
Excited for that movie.
Absolutely.
That's the Ryan Gosling movie?
Yeah. Especially what I saw at Comic-Con. I think there might be another hit right there, boys.
I hear the book is great. I haven't read it.
Every day I go to work, I see that book on the shelves. And I'm like, God damn it, I think I have to pull the trigger and like read it. Oh, hi, Darren.
What's up, Darren? Didn't expect to see you in here.
Me neither.
Oh, and right as soon as Darren came in, my StreamYard started working up here, so I'm going to switch over.
Okay.
I did it.
I feel like horrible. Look at that.
Now, people are going to complain about the squeaky mic. Get ready for it. Get ready for the squeaky mic complaints. Thank you for the member chat. We also have a super chat here from Naruto, $5 super chat, getting the ball rolling. It's just 5 tonight, guys, to hit the goal. If you want to hit the goal, it's just 5 super chats. I thought A Night of Seven Kingdoms episode 1 was kind of boring, hoping it gets better. Well, I heard they were only 30-minute episodes, but the first one was 42 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, well, with credits and all that stuff, it's yeah.
Plus, there's like a 5-minute thing at the beginning of the episode that you can skip. That's not actually part of the episode. That's just like a bunch of HBO promo. So
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I saw that on because we were going to watch it today, and I was like, "Oh, it's 30 minutes. I have time to watch it before we go do this other shit." And then I saw it was 42 minutes, and I'm like, "I don't have time to watch a 42-minute episode," so I haven't seen it yet. But
It's my favorite start to like a Game of Thrones show. I think, like in terms
You
of
know
a
what?
episode of a show.
It rivals the first premiere of both House and Game, in my opinion. I really like those two premieres. I'm biased. This might be my favorite one too, Darren. I think I'm with you there. And Naruto, if you've seen the previous 2 shows, I can kind of get that because you're so used to the political thriller, sex and violence stuff.
It's
get
a different
that.
kind of show. Yeah.
this is the Dunk and Egg story, right? Is that what this is?
Yes.
yeah. I thought
Stick
it was a
with
good
it.
pilot. I thought it was a good
Stick
pilot.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say that a lot of people told me they were disappointed. There's not a lot of stuff outside of the night stuff, and I'm like, well, that's really what the story is. It's a story about.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
novella.
Yeah.
The book size is it's like 100 pages or short or less than that, which is like from George R. R. Martin is a miracle.
I mean, you've already gotten so much outside of that story, though. So it's like the fact that you're just kind of clamoring for more at this point. I mean, this is different from what they've done before because when Game of Thrones was in its prime, that was in an era of network TV where you were getting so much TV per year, and episode times were different. They haven't done a like limited 6-episode season to where each is about half an hour long minus this first one. They haven't really done that, so it's a little bit of a new thing for them. But I think it can very much work in their favor.
I tell people treat this like the Mandalorian first episode. We're not dealing with the Skywalkers. We're not in the middle of a war. We're just following the dude.
I'd say, like, I don't know, it mixes elements of like Mando and Andor for me. It's like you're focusing on the normal, like the everyday average Joe people there, but they're also like you're filling more of the world out, which is strengths of the Game of Thrones, House, the Dragon IP as a whole is all the world building that they've been doing, and this felt like more of that. But also, we were talking about this in Ronan's stream earlier. I kind of got some Lord of the Rings vibes from this at certain points, which I didn't mind. I was glad that I got that feeling. It didn't feel like a drastic change of that doesn't really feel like this. It felt kind of right at home.
There's a shot that looks like it's right out of the Lord of the Rings first movie with like Gandalf walking on the countryside. There's literally a shot from it. I'm like, that must have been a Lord of the Rings little like nod, probably.
Well, even Dunk himself into this reminded me of Samwise a little bit. So I was getting a lot of those same nods.
I love the misdirect, and like I won't spoil anything for Eric, but like in the first 5 minutes, there's a little comedic like misdirect that had me dying. Like I think that had like made me laugh more than anything in Game of Thrones, and so like already I was like, okay, this is a different kind of show. This is a different tone than we're used to, which I thought was great.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll be honest, that's one moment I don't know if I necessarily liked it or hated it, but looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a little different.
So am I the only one here who hasn't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. All right. So Joe and I both
boys,
haven't
get
seen
on it. Get on it.
So-
I'm way out of the loop.
Okay. All right. So Ronan, you're giving it a thumbs up, right? You're saying it's a watch thing. It's a watch. Give it a go.
Yes,
And
it is.
Darren
It is
as well.
definitely. Again, even if you've never seen anything Game of Thrones, book or show, you can go into it like that.
Yeah, this could be a good starting off point for you.
Jake, but you were saying, did you say you hope it gets better or whatever? Did you say something
No,
like
that was the comment saying that.
Oh, you
I
were reading
enjoyed
the
the
comment.
episode.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it.
No, I enjoyed the
And
episode.
it does. It really does. I'll say that.
Naruto here with a $5 super chat says, I found out recently that One Piece Season 3 started filming in November and is expected to go until June, so we might actually get Season 3 next year.
Kamehameha!
I'm just excited about
Ronan.
Season 2. I'm just excited about Season 2.
I mean, like Netflix is starting to learn. They're starting to film seasons back to back, which I think is needed. Like if you start filming every year or like every year and a half, if you film like 2 seasons at once, you're golden. You'll never have to deal with the 5 years for a new season again. And Avatar did it. One Piece did it.
Then you can take all the time you want to edit it.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. I just can't believe that we're getting 3 seasons of One Piece, but we couldn't crack Bebop. That's still mind-bending to me.
Yeah, that's a little disheartening.
I'm still disappointed we didn't get a second season of that. My wife and I loved that show.
If it would have stayed the same, I'm good. But if it would have gotten better, probably, maybe. But again, that first season, man,
You didn't like the first season?
It literally was like stuff was missing, man. And again, I don't need everything to be a 1-to-1 adaptation, but just the spirit for me, I could be wrong, but just for me, the poetry of what Bebop anime is, it wasn't there in that live action. Like I didn't mind John Cho, who plays Spike. I didn't mind his casting. To me, the best casting was Jet. And again, the way they went about it, it felt like they were mixing stuff and they were changing stuff. And I'm like, you could have ended at a certain point the way the anime did, and it would have been just as fine and not too convoluted. And I don't know, it was missing something that, like, again, having not seen One Piece, the live action show or the anime, everybody who either grew up with the anime or grew up with the manga saying it's an adaptation, but the spirit of both the manga and the anime are with the live action. And I'm like, that's all I needed. I didn't need the ship to look exactly the same. I didn't need John Cho to look exactly like Spike, but just to give me the spirit of that anime into live action for me.
Now, see, I've never seen the anime, but I loved the live action show. Like my wife and I thought it was great. We've never watched the anime.
That's probably why. Yeah, like once you watch the anime, I'm curious to see how you would feel about it, because the anime is pure poetry in my opinion. Like it's up there with Blade Runner for me.
I can't watch
Cowboy
anime.
Bebop, but loved Cowboy Bebop. Did not like the live action show.
And I felt so bad because I wanted to. I really wanted it to.
We got Big Fieldy coming through with 4 months as a channel member. Thank you so much for the support, Big Fieldy. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead, Darren. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I think Netflix does that a lot. Not with like One Piece, like that seems to be the one exception, but it seems like they make a lot of like good adaptations for the casual audience, but maybe not a great, or like they adapt things that work as original series, but not necessarily adaptations. Because that's how I feel about Avatar as well. I think Avatar is a completely passable show. It's honestly, I'd argue, a good show if you don't know the source material. But once you know what it came from, it's kind of like, they could have maybe done things a little bit better. They could have adapted it a little bit better. And it seems like maybe that's what Cowboy was as well, where it's like on its own fine. But
I can tell you this, as somebody who doesn't watch anime, I watched the live action One Piece and the live action Cowboy Bebop. And I watched the entire series of Cowboy Bebop and loved it. And I tapped out of One Piece after 1 episode.
What?
There we go.
Damn.
Comments are gonna be on fire after this video. I know it for sure.
Eventually, I'll try One Piece. Eventually, I have to. I'm into anime. I have to.
you would love the live action one, Ronan.
And everything I've seen of that kid who plays what's his name? Duffy, whatever his name is. Luffy.
Yeah.
Like everything that I seen out of that kid, it seems like he genuinely cares about One Piece and like lives and breathes it.
Yeah.
And like that I respect more than just a good actor or someone who looks like the character. Is like, if you got that in your bones,
Yeah.
then I'm with you. I'm with you.
And season 3, we're bringing in Sholo, so that's going to be exciting to get him back in the like Netflix kind of family, I guess.
It'll be good to see him back in general. I've missed him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Yeah,
All
Sholo
right.
from Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's he joining?
One Piece.
Oh, I didn't know
Season
that.
3.
Cool.
Okay, so speaking of Netflix and One Piece and all that stuff, things are heating up in this battle with Paramount.
It's high school. It's
However-
John Hughes movie.
However, this is
Someone
pretty
sold a
promising.
John Hughes movie like that.
All right. Netflix chief Ted Sarandos says the plan is clear, a 45-day theatrical window. I want to win opening weekend. I want to win the box office. Key insight from the Warner deal, theatrical economies are better than Netflix expected. Theater does not equal the enemy of streaming. I think we talked about this, that stuff that goes back and forth from streaming to like theaters typically does really well. It's not a negative for streaming. Ronan, were you the one that brought up the numbers? I can't remember who brought it up.
I think he and I both did.
Yeah, about the fact that things that have theatrical windows typically do better on streaming because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting.
I think so. I mean, it's always an event.
And I think Joe said it as well.
Yep.
Good movies in theaters equals more movies watched at home. This is sealing the deal. It is done. It is a done deal. Also, for anybody that's keeping tabs on the political aspect of this, Trump just purchased stock in Netflix.
Ah, fucking Christ.
Yup.
Which
We
means
could be going to the Netflix pretty soon. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just essentially means that he's probably going to be okay with this happening. He's not going to
God, man.
push back against it. Paramount played their hand. Their hand got struck down, and it looks like Netflix is going to grab it. Now, everybody, getting worried about the Trump thing, there's really not much that can be done with the streaming side of it because you can't really news on streaming doesn't do much. So I think he's buying the stock just so he has money coming in from this deal. I believe
It's
that's what this is gonna
irritating.
be.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's irritating, and then everybody in Europe and around the world are laughing their asses off at us.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's what it is.
But this is
Poster, please.
exactly. But for me, with this new additional element of this is best case scenario for Warner Brothers if they're going to do a 45-day theatrical window. So it keeps it away from Paramount, who's made really, really bad decisions business-wise, and it puts movies in theaters for 45 days. I'm okay with this. I still don't want them to be sold to anybody, but if they're going to be sold to someone, I like that movies are still going to go out into theaters, which is a good thing.
I'm kind of hoping that directors and creatives will then push back once we get to those like releases. So like it'd be funny if like, for example, the one I've been telling the boys that like Cliff Booth, the movie of Cliff Booth, I'm pumped for. I'm excited for that movie.
Yeah.
If David Fincher comes out and be like, no, I want 2 months or 2.5 months in the movie theaters, and if you don't do that, I will go on podcast and rip you another sphincter, and and then that's a whole PR thing they're gonna have to deal with. And it's like, I wonder if maybe within Netflix that they can set the boundaries straight, be like, no.
I hope
We
the
want people to
pushback
feel
for
it.
that- I hope the pushback for that is strong enough.
And again, isn't Christopher Nolan the head of DGA right now?
Yep.
So you think he's gonna play nice and like?
Yeah.
I hope Captain, my captain goes a distance and be like, no, if this is gonna happen, so be it. But play ball with us. We're not gonna settle for less.
Yeah, because when they do settle for less, we've seen what happens.
Yeah.
Again, like we said when this first happened, they should come out of this looking like a hero. They should come out of this with the concept of like, we're saving cinema. We are the heroes that's going to give it the full days. And I think like, as much as it sucks, like they do have an opportunity here to make a lot of money to create these two massive events. Obviously, when it hits theaters, really promoting it, really pushing it. But then when it hits Netflix, that's another ride. When big things hit Netflix, it's usually a big hit. When they actually promote it, when it's a big thing. And so, like, hypothetically, this could be a big thing for DC. This could be a massive win for them if done right, if produced right.
You got to promote it though.
You have to push it. You have to promote it. I'm so concerned though, because like Netflix says this now, but a week ago they said literally a completely different thing. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
so
Wasn't
what
it
is
17 days or something like that when they said initially? And it's just like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are they gonna do with 10
I
days?
I
like
think
three
They're
separate
going
things?
back
It's
and
so
forth on this,
weird.
trying to appease everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so like, okay, just pick one. Just pick
And
which one
also,
you're
you
doing.
said it, Darren. They're marketing Netflix. You're worldwide. I don't think they realize, or maybe they do, but just like afraid a minute that like you can market the hell out of each of your movies and just have ads on people's faces day and night between tablets, phones, computers. What's the fucking thing people use to read books online? Whatever the
E-readers.
yeah,
Kindles.
E-readers.
Yeah.
yeah, like across the board on podcasts. Like I saw the Bill Simmons podcast is on Netflix now. Push it through the podcast. Like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And like you like money, right? Well, make it worth it.
Sorry,
No,
I just got reminded of that whole pitch meeting skit where they're like, "Oh, money, that's the thing I like."
yeah. Joe, you went to the Netflix house, which is the big Netflix movie theater / food court / merch store or whatever.
Sort of.
Yeah. They don't show their movies there, right? Or do they?
No, they do.
Okay.
They do. The Tudum Theater. It's a movie theater where you can watch Netflix movies. And I was asking about it. I didn't go in. I really did very little there other than peruse the gift shop. I'm going back. I'm going to do a video for Crazy Joe Adventures. But they told me that the Tudum Theater, a day or two before a movie premieres on Netflix, you can make a reservation. You got to go online, make a reservation, but it's free. And you can watch that movie on the big screen with an audience in a theater.
It's pretty interesting.
I'd do that. Amy, I'd do that. You know, I'd rather watch the clip with movie in the movie theater. Shit, I'm in. I'll do that. But like, come on, put it in the movie theater.
Like, apparently they did it with Wake Up Dead Man. Now, Wake Up Dead Man actually went to real theaters.
Right.
But it was only in theaters for 2 weeks. So apparently, if you missed it in its 2-week window and in the actual theaters, 2 days before it premiered on Netflix, you could go to the Netflix house.
Oh, I'm so glad you're reminding me.
Yeah.
Del Toro announced that they're putting back Frankenstein in movie theaters in specific cities, but it's going back to movie theater, and it's like
That's cool.
Yep.
that's a sign, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's what I've been saying. Like, there's a couple of examples this year of movies, like of the Netflix movies hitting theaters. We have that one Netflix show that's taking a movie this year. We have Narnia. We have a couple that's coming out. Go watch those in the cinema. Go tell them that, like, hey, we will drive out to see it. Now, it's tough because there's not always showings everywhere. Mine has like Regal has yet to do any of that. They didn't show Frankenstein. They didn't show Knives Out. They didn't do Stranger Things.
They did show Stranger Things and the pop-up, the sing-along version of K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop, they did do mine too. Yeah. Just like mine didn't, I should say. But yeah, like I want. Hopefully, they start doing more, wider releases for some of these. Like I think, especially like Narnia. Like Narnia is the one that feels big. That feels like it could be a massive movie. I really hope they push it. I really hope they, which is gonna be tough because it's gonna be around like Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday. So
you know what one I'm still bitter about? I waited like 30 years for a new Pee Wee Herman movie. And then I had to watch Pee Wee's Big Holiday on streaming. It's like, God damn it. I was waiting for like 30 years for another Pee Wee movie, and you made me watch it on streaming. I wanted to see that in a theater. Yeah. I'm still angry. Does it show?
You think it'll come out ever in theaters?
Well, it's too late now. I mean, I've already.
No, I mean like as a revival thing or something.
Maybe, but you never have a second chance to watch it for the first time.
True. Naruto here with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Naruto. Fun fact: in One Piece season 1, when the Straw Hats first set sail in Going Merry, they played the OG anime opening song.
Anybody
did
going? With all the like theater talk and stuff we're doing, I'm just curious. Am I going to the theater this month?
I saw a hell of a movie today.
What'd you see?
28 years later, The Bone Temple, which
Someone
is
said
the
it's the
best
best movie.
movie.
They said it's the best
It's the-
movie in the franchise.
It's the best one in the franchise, absolutely.
I wanna get to that. I haven't seen the others yet though, so I need to get caught up.
It's on AMC right now, streaming all the old ones.
Um,
I'm seeing Send Help in like 2 weeks. So
yeah.
Send Help looks so good.
actually, no, less than 2 weeks. Yeah, he looks to be killing it yet again.
If I could just say to Dullboy Jack 237, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is playing tomorrow in Regal Cinemas all over the country. So check your local listings, because for one day only tomorrow, you can see Pee-wee's Big Adventure on the big screen.
Right now they're showing Madagascar for the 20th anniversary.
That movie's 20 years old?
Yeah, the first one.
Jesus.
All right. We got some
Oh.
DCU stuff. Apparently,
feel
Grant
old.
Gustin is going to return as Barry Allen because he dyed his hair blonde. Did you guys see this?
I saw Grant Gustin himself debunk it.
I saw this from Chainsaw and I was like, wait, what is this? And then I
Yeah,
and
people
found it.
went nuts just because he was dyeing his hair blonde. They automatically jumped to the Flash assumption.
James Gunn did respond, but it was like a nonchalant response.
Mhm.
I think it's on
lot
this
of-
tweet here.
We're not getting the Flash in this for a while.
He goes, I keep being told people are going to riot over things, but I am yet to see a riot. Love Grant, by the way. I don't know what Elliot has to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Elliot got brought into the conversation at all.
Because these people are anti-trans. They just want to talk shit about a trans person.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is.
You know
I
what
mean,
else
more or
then?
less. There's this
And Elliot
randomly
Page-
bringing someone up like that is just like
Elliot
you know.
Page isn't, and this isn't
That's
a diss, but they're not connected to this conversation. So
Yeah.
Which is why it's just transphobia.
You know what I'll say?
Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
I was like, I said when this was going around, I was like, I would believe this, that they were actually filming anything DCU related anytime soon. And then the thing came up that, like, they're filming Man of Tomorrow starting today. And I was like, fuck. I was like, God damn it. I wouldn't put it past it. There's some people that are like, oh, it's definitely happening. He's secretly in the movie. And some people are like, it's impossible. And I'm kind of like, maybe it could. I listen, James Gunn listens to his fans. James Gunn, he is chronically online. Him and Gustin have had a very open relationship online the last couple years. There's been a good rapport. I'm not throwing it out there. I'm not throwing it out completely. I could see a world, especially the like kind of movie this is, where it kind of feels like it's a Justice League-esque team up kind of movie. I could be like, you know what? It's possible. Is it likely? No. I don't want to throw that out there. I'm not hashtag he's coming back. I'm hashtag we'll see.
I mean, could the Flash be in the movie? Sure. Would I be fine if he's in the movie? Sure. Do I want it to be Gustin as much as I love him in the role? No, I don't.
I'm hoping they go Wally. I'd rather see Wally in the DC universe.
I think they'll do both.
Because honestly, I got to tell you, Wally's really my Flash. Because when I was reading comics in the 80s, Wally was Flash longer than Barry was. When I was reading heavily from the 80s through the early 2000s.
I think we've gotten to a point
Exactly
where
what I
pretty much every story you can tell with Barry in live action at this point has been told, whether
Yeah.
you like the way it was done or not. And when you get to the movie, which was in all sorts of hell, they adapted the only story that had been in an animated in any Flash movie before. That's the one they went with. So, and honestly, I think the best Flash stories and characteristics came from Wally.
Yeah, but I feel like to tell Wally's story the best,
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to skip over we don't have to see it, but I don't want to skip over a Kid Flash connection to the Flash.
Right.
I'd rather,
I mean, hell, you could have like that first film of them, like where you have both of them.
Yeah.
You open it thinking Barry is your lead, and then it ends with Wally as your lead.
I think have a movie where Barry Allen is the Flash, Wally is Kid Flash, but it's from his POV. We are watching him look up to Barry and having that like that. I think that's such an interesting thing, and then you can end chapter 1 with his sacrifice, with Barry
kind of like
dying.
a Miles movie where like it's Miles's POV.
I think that'd be great, and like that kind of is where I'm kind of okay with Gustin coming back if it's short term. If if this was a role for the next 10 to 15 years, I'd be like, no, get someone new. But if he is playing like a slightly older Barry Allen to contrast Ryan Chandler or Ryan, as his name,
Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler's like Green Lantern, maybe an older Batman. Like it kind of works for me to bring back this kind of legacy actor to play that role.
I get that,
if
but
it's short term.
There's like a 20-year age difference between those two, though.
That is true, but like you can play it up a little bit. Like you can. I don't know. I personally think it could work if done right. But like I also think it's big on the direction. I would want Gustin to play a very different Barry Allen. I would want him to play something kind of totally fresh, totally new than he played on the CW era.
Right. I mean, if you want to continue that whole thing too, I know I've gone on this rabbit hole more than once. I know, but if you want to continue that thing of past Flash actors coming back to play legacy roles, have Gustin as a prime age Jay Garrick in like a World War II Justice Society type movie. I think that'd be terrific if they were to do that. But if you want to bring him back as a short term Barry Allen, then sure. But if you're going to bring him back at all, I think having him play a prime age Jay would be the best thing.
Okay. Well, James Gunn has also debunked a bunch of rumors, so we're going to go over these. The first one we're going to talk about is all the rumors about Batman and Wonder Woman auditions are false. So those have been debunked.
That's just people making that up.
I want to point out also, I don't know if I bookmarked it here, but he pretty much confirmed that they're not going to work on anything Batman related until after the Batman Part 2.
The Batman Part 2. He said he doesn't want to get in the way of that.
Which is exactly what I was concerned about. I've been saying this from the jump.
Which means you probably won't get Brave and the Bold until around 2029.
I think later.
I think it's 2030.
Yeah.
I think 2030 makes sense. I mean, what does that mean exactly? Does it mean when it's out? When it's out in theaters, then they can start working on it? Or are we talking like they're done with shooting? They're done with like editing?
Well, he did say explicitly he didn't want to have the two movies out in the same year, which I do understand that, and I agree with that. But he also said he wasn't going to even deal with that until after Matt Reeves has a chance to put his movie out. So
he did also say months back that, like these movies, like there wasn't going to be a, Reeves verse Batman film and a DCU one. They weren't going to be released in the same, year to 18 months in between each other. So just to give those
my issue is, and I know this is going to hurt because I know we have some fans of it here. I'm not particularly fond of the Batman. I don't think to me, it's not a great film in the sense of the way it's structured. Now, I think Penguin is incredible. I absolutely loved Penguin.
Yeah.
I think Penguin is better than the Batman, in my opinion.
Same.
Yes. That Batman movie is problematic to me for a couple of reasons, and I'll give you the two main reasons. I think the movie is too long. I think that third act feels like a fourth act, and I think they could have tightened it up in the middle somewhere. I also didn't like that Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't really that good as a detective. Everything sort of falls in place for him in the film. And so to me, it took away from the whole concept of him like learning to be this sort of like noir Batman that's a detective type character. I just didn't feel that from that movie. So for me, I was looking forward to The Brave and the Bold and the DCU Batman because I wanted something more like the animated Batman and less like what we've been getting since Christopher Nolan. No offense to Nolan.
We haven't gotten a live action Batman with an established Bat family really ever, so that's going to be something new that the DCU
they have basically abused the Batman family in the DCEU to the point where we've gotten everything but a proper Batman. That's true. Like we haven't had a proper Batman movie in the DCEU.
Oh well, no.
We got Batman in BVS. We got Batman in the Justice League movie, and then he got a small cameo in the Flash movie. We never got a proper Batman movie
we
in
didn't.
the DCEU. But we got tons of Harley Quinn. We got tons of Batman characters, but no Batman.
Yeah, and what I'm getting into with this, my other issue with the Batman that is one of the issues I also had with the Superman movie from last year. I don't know why this is, I feel like, slowly becoming a thing where these comic movies in the 2020s, especially those two, are like going along this weird route of villainizing the parents. I don't get why that's slowly becoming a thing. The Batman did it, and I'm like, okay, that's different. It's interesting.
Turning them into like corrupt, socialites and everything.
Didn't love the way they did that, but then Superman did it, and they said, hey, spread your DNA out all over the world. And I hate just what that's turning into. I really don't like the way that's being done.
I understand that. Anybody else have any opinions about the Batman situation? Any thoughts on it?
I love the Batman.
Yeah, and I figured you were going to chime in on that one. So you really enjoyed it. So how do you feel about James Gunn waiting until after the Matt Reeves follow-up gets a chance to come out in theaters before he even begins to think about the DCU Batman? How do you feel about that?
I'm okay. I've had Batman things almost every portion of my life that I've gone to school. And hell, probably even on my deathbed, they're going to be premiering a new Batman. Be like, yo, it's the 190th one. And so if we're not rushing it, I'm okay with that. I can patiently wait. The Penguin gave me an appetizer for now to wait. And again, I want to see Lantern, Supergirl, and something like Mr. Miracle before I need another Batman project. Even though I fucking love the Batman.
Right? Because how long have we been saying now that we want DC to branch out from things that are not Superman and Batman? We've been saying that. So
I disagree with that. I don't want them to branch away from Batman. I want them to branch away from the Bat family. They've given us a lot of the Bat family, but the only Batman movie we've had in the last decade is one. We've had one Batman movie in the last decade.
I don't consider that the Batman family. I want to see.
We've never gotten a movie with an established Batman family.
Yeah. No, but when I say Bat family, I mean the Batman world, like that universe. We've had a lot of that. We had Gotham Knights. We had Batwoman. We had a Batgirl movie that almost came out. We've had other projects that have Bat characters in it. We got a Clayface movie coming up. We have not had an actual connected Batman movie to any larger universe never really. Never. I mean, we haven't had one. Christopher Nolan had their trilogy, and we had the Matt Reeves Batman, but we've not had a proper actual Batman movie connected to anything in forever. I want to see that. I want to know what that looks like.
I think for now, Clayface will fill my appetite for anything Gotham related. I think for that, it'll fill it for right now, and then again, I want to see the rest.
I feel weird because I get what you're saying, Ron. I understand that's your perspective. For me though, it feels again like give us Batman. Stop teasing us with other characters that exist in Arkham and in fucking Gotham. Give us Batman. Why are they so weird about Batman? Why? What is the issue with this? You will give us every character that exists in Batman's world except for fucking Batman.
The one character that's constantly worked out for them. So,
but has it? They haven't really used him. They have used his name to sell other characters. We got 2 fucking Joker movies.
What I mean is Batman. If Batman's name is on something, it's made money. That's what I'm saying.
But they're not putting Batman in it. And it hasn't always made money. BVS and Justice League didn't make money.
No, BVS did make money. It did.
Not as much as it should have with Batman. No. We had Nolan movies that made $1 billion.
We did. And
so
BVS
so
was
that
not a financial flop.
So Batman wasn't enough to sell that movie to the general audience, not in the way they wanted it to. And Justice League theatrical release was a complete and utter financial disaster for them.
No, that bombed for sure. And a lot of people did not like BVS. People had their issues with it. It still got butts in seats.
So my question is tease of Batman more exciting than Batman himself for most people.
For now,
Like-
for me, yes. Like he showed up in
That's
Commando.
it. Yeah,
No
that's what I'm
line.
saying.
No, like the notion that we spent a second in Gotham and we saw him messing with Dr. Phosphorus. I'm like, good enough
Yeah.
for me right now. For now,
Same.
I think the difference is like with Marvel wants us to have Spider-Man everywhere, right? They know that is their biggest character, and they will put Spider-Man everywhere they possibly can if they can. And they want even more Spider-Man, but Sony has rights to most of their Spider-Man outlets, right? You have Warner Brothers that literally owns Batman. It is their character. They can do anything they want with it. And what did we get in Gotham Knights? A really bad fucking Batman appearance. And Batwoman, we didn't even get a real Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? They just don't want this character to exist anywhere.
The embargo is what screwed them out of that for a number of years.
But
which
who sets the embargo?
I don't
Warner
think
Brothers.
the embargo should have even been a thing. And
But that's my
not
point.
justifying it.
So I am exhausted with Batman adjacent projects. I want an actual Batman project. Give me Batman,
Me too.
give me Robin, give me Alfred, give me all of that together in a movie that feels like the animated series, and just make that the thing. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. That's what I want. If you did that for me, I would be so fucking happy. But that's not what we get. We get breadcrumbs everywhere.
Do you remember? This is going back a ways. Do you remember when everybody thought Batman was showing up on Smallville? The Adam Knight. Remember the Adam Knight character?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "It's Batman! It's Batman!" It's like, nope.
So my issue is that, you know, I mean, we're gonna get this Batman Part 2, and I have high hopes for it. I think it'll be well done. I think the first movie was a very well-made film, even if I artistically didn't like parts of it. But I have been waiting to see what the DCU Batman is going to be in this world with all of these incredible characters. And we're going to be waiting another 5 years now for that?
Yeah.
4 years? That's crazy to me.
I mean, I
I'm
would
sorry,
rather-
it's crazy to me.
But what would you do in their
rather
place?
wait and then make it good?
Would you have them cancel Matt Reeves' movie?
I think they've coddled Matt Reeves too much.
I honestly wish the Matt Reeves movies would just go away. They're standing in the way.
I think
though.
I think my
Blasphemy.
issue is that Matt Reeves is a filmmaker, right? He's going to take his time, and I respect them for standing behind him on that. I don't like that it's an either or situation with this Batman stuff. Like, why do we have to sacrifice a Batman in the DCU because Matt Reeves wants to drag his heels on his film? Why is that the sacrifice we have to make? And Jake, you said earlier, fast or good. I don't think that needs to be the discussion. We've seen movies that can be made in a short amount of time that end up being really good. Like, I think if you're saying that a movie made in a 2-year period can't be as good as a movie that takes, how long have we been waiting for the Batman Part 2 now? What if that comes out and it's a failure? There's movies that have taken decades to come out and they end up being shit. So I don't think for me, that's not a fair comparison. Like, I think you can make a movie, like, you're telling me we can't make a good Batman movie in 3 years?
You can.
Sure.
There's just other things that they're constantly having to juggle. So
Right,
Yeah.
but Batman is there. But here's the problem: the cognitive dissonance in this. Batman is arguably their most popular character, right? If he is your most popular character, why are you making every other movie except for Batman?
I mean,
Here's
I
the
know
thing.
you are making Batman.
My perspective,
Not the
my
DCU Batman, though.
Yeah, because they have to do this first. Like, I don't think you can shove him out of the way to be like, all right, we need to focus on this. Like, I think he just, like, as much as it sucks, because I'm with you. Like, it's a damn shame we kind of have to wait almost 5 years into a universe to get a Batman movie. But I think they're in the situation. You know, James Gunn is very pro the filmmaker and letting these filmmakers do their thing. That I'm personally okay with waiting a couple of years.
But let me propose a hypothetical here just to test everybody's logic.
Okay.
What if he greenlights a Elseworlds Green Lantern movie? What if he greenslight an Elseworlds Flash movie and then an Elseworlds I don't know, a fucking New Gods movie or something. Does that mean that now we have to pause all of those characters in the DCU until whenever those movies decide to come out? That's the standard we're setting. That anything that gets greenlit in an Elseworlds or an alternate thing, that we just pause everything we're doing in the regular universe? I think the regular universe should be the priority.
I don't think so. And again, just my perspective. I think they know that like Batman will sell and it is making them money, but like I think they're thinking more for him, like, let's like not deliberately, but like we don't have to rush to get him into the cinemas. And maybe I could be wrong. By the time he does come back in the DCU, it's gonna make more of an impact if we see him every other year.
I think his impact of the DCU is diminished by the Batman Part 2.
Really?
Because think about this. What if the Batman Part 2 comes out and it's like $1 billion movie for them? Right? Are they going to rush to greenlight another Batman in the DC, or are they going to go, let's wait for Matt Reeves to do the third one because it made $1 billion for us?
I think that the excuse that Warner Brothers, or I guess Tetsurando's at this point, by the time they get their $1 billion, they're gonna be like, yeah, another Batman, yeah, go ahead, whatever. Let me keep counting my money. And then James gonna be like, all right, let's go do DCU Batman with everybody.
I don't know. For me, that would be like James Gunn, or we'll use the Russo brothers, having $1 billion Avengers Part 1, and they go, well, we don't want them to make Part 2. We're going to get somebody else to do the second one. I don't think that's the case. I think if Matt Reeves makes $1 billion Batman movie, he gets another Batman movie.
They tried to find new talent for the Russos after they made $1 billion Avengers movie,
but that was because the Russos chose to walk away, though. They didn't want to do it again. They're the ones that.
I think that like the day Batman stops being a money making machine is when they'll start pumping out TV shows and movies at the exact same time.
I will argue that the only reason that the Batman Part 1 got made is because of the financial failure of Batman and Justice League. That's my argument. Because
they didn't make Batman for like 5 years.
Right, but I'm saying when
the
Ben Affleck thing fell through because of the fact that it didn't look like people wanted that film, then Matt Reeves' Batman happened. So now, what would it look like behind the scenes if Matt Reeves was up against James Gunn picking another director to do Brave and the Bold? Because I don't know if Andy Muschietti is still going to stay attached to a movie that's not coming out for another half a decade. But, fighting another director, how is that going to look for him if he's pumping out $1 billion movie and you're like, well, we're just going to saturate the market with Batman so that when your next movie comes out, it's diminished even more because there's so many of them happening. Because the whole reason Batman is embargoed is because they're like, we don't want to flood Batman in the market.
Well, here's the thing.
If you don't want to flood Batman in the market, why would you have competing Batman movie franchises out at the same time?
You made the examples of like, what if they do a New Gods DC Elseworlds, or they do all these other projects Elseworlds? Does that mean they can't use them in the DCU? I don't think so, because we've never had another Elseworlds, not Elseworlds. We've never had a New Gods movie. We never had a other characters movie, so that won't hinge them on that. Where Batman, he's everywhere.
Well, then he's actually not, though. That's my argument. He's not everywhere. We're using Batman characters everywhere. We're not using Batman everywhere. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can spit and hit a Batman character in any project that the DC does, but you can't find Batman everywhere. The last Batman thing we got was the Batman.
Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
Yes, in the animated side, but I would argue that that's a niche TV show. Like, that's a very niche TV show. Sure. You're right, but it is a niche TV show. I'm talking about in like live action stuff. They are so stingy about Batman. We don't even like when he was in fucking Creature Commandos, we got a silhouette of him. They didn't even put him in the episode, just a fucking silhouette of him. This is supposed to be your big character. Why is Superman's logo all over everywhere if Batman is the one that everybody cares about? It's the second most popular superhero in the world.
I don't know. I think that like maybe you might be right at the end of it. I just like they've never quote unquote hold back on Batman this before, and I'm like, I want to see how long that lasts to see if people, general audiences, not nerds, if general audiences can actually know that the DC is more than Batman. Because that's the end goal.
Because, I mean, you did get 2 Batman in the Flash movie, so...
Right, but again, it wasn't a Batman... My point is, Batman as a character is the IP. That is the branding. Throwing him in other things is not the same as giving him his own movie.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but he is in there. And he has a presence. Like again, it's perspective. Like I think,
But those characters are gone though. Those Batmen are gone. They're never coming back.
Yeah.
Right? They're gone. That
they're
movie
gone,
came out
but they
knowing
had-
that they would never come back.
I think this
Sure.
is like a DC. I'm sorry, Renan. Go ahead.
no, go ahead there.
I was just gonna say, like, this is a DC problem in general. Like, this isn't just Batman. Argue the same thing for like Wonder Woman. We haven't had a Wonder Woman thing in really anything outside of cameo since what 2021.
Mm.
When was the last Green Lantern thing we had? When was the last, like this is an issue in general that DC had for almost 10 years, and I think they're just trying to swim their way back. They're trying like these last several years have been them trying to clear the weeds away to finally be like, finally, this is DC. This is our new
So
brand.
let's do a 1-for-1 comparison. What projects are conflicting with those characters not coming out?
Which ones?
Any of them?
No, I mean,
Because we know for a fact the only reason we're not getting a DCU Batman is because of Matt Reeves' Batman. None of the other ones are the same example. They might not be using them, but there's no reason why. The reason why James Gunn has said explicitly is because the Matt Reeves Batman 2 is coming out.
Sure. And again, it's a sucky like situation. I really think I think it's a thing of like, listen, we have found ourselves in this spot. We have got to get his version out first. He started his first. The Batman Part 2 had been in early developments before the DCU was even announced.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he got dibs before Raven the Bold. I think that's how.
Okay, so let's move even further, and then we're going to move on from this. But say, for example, the Batman, and I don't think this is going to happen, right? I don't think this is going to happen. But let's just throw this out there. Say, for example, the Batman Part 2 comes out and it's a flop. It's absolutely underperforms on a huge budget, right? What does that look like for Batman's future in the DCU if the most recent Batman movie is a complete failure? Do they fast track a Batman movie in the DCU, or do they go, it's a risk because people didn't come out and support the other one, so now we're gonna wait on Batman because of this other Elseworlds movie?
I mean, it was a risk making another Batman movie after Batman and Robin did what it did, but they took a risk and it paid off. So I feel like it would
except we're looking at where we're at right now. We're building a new universe. This is an Elseworlds project. They're pausing the other movie until this one comes out. So there's a direct line from this. If this movie underperforms, do we not get a Batman movie in the DCU? That's my question.
No, I think we do. I think that's even like a bigger pitch for them to be like, well, that one flopped, but it wasn't part of our universe, so this one will do well. So,
which, by the way, it's almost a bad faith question because I don't think the movie is going to flop.
Yeah.
Just to be honest,
right? But I mean, in the worst case scenario that it would almost make a bigger case for this other one to be like, okay, let's push this out and get it made.
Yeah.
I will say, and I've said it for years, and I don't think they legally can because of like rights and stuff. I still want the DCU Batman to be a TV show. I think they would be incredible.
I've always said a Batman TV show makes more sense to me than Batman movies, but that's just me personally. I think a Batman TV show.
See, it's funny because like when you look at people like Batman and Superman as characters, just logically you think that Superman works better in big budget movies, Batman works better in small budget TV. But it's kind of funny that the last number of years where the opposite results have been almost happening.
I think Penguin is a really good case of why I believe a Batman world would work in television, in my opinion. By the way, shout out to Michael here, channel member for 17 months. Thank you so much, Michael. If you're watching live or on VOD, because we have a lot of VOD viewers, shout out to you guys. Click on the like, thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow. Also, click on the subscribe button and alert button. Thank you so much, Michael. By the way, I noticed here in the second, as we were discussing that it does talk about the Brave and the Bold in that third part, so we're not going to go over that because we've already talked about it. But it says the big news about Man of Tomorrow was the appearance of Brainiac. Aside from that, most of the major casting characters have already met. They are currently casting smaller roles. I also want to scroll down here a little bit.
You looking
right
at the
here. We will. We're going to talk about all of it here. But he's denied the belief that Batman and Wonder Woman are in Man of Tomorrow in any capacity, which has sparked rumors that this character is now Maxima.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Any thoughts on that? Fans of Maxima out there?
James Gunn is a nerd, so I wouldn't be surprised if he followed that.
Yeah, I
no
think that would
idea
be really
who
cool.
he is, but I'm excited to learn.
Well,
But
think
Darren,
of like
she was in Supergirl, Darren.
That doesn't help me. There's a lot of stupid characters.
Fair enough.
Maxima. Well, there's a really iconic animated fight between her and Superman from years ago that I
Yes,
really
there
enjoyed.
are.
So
Yes, there is.
there's more.
she
There's
was a
more than
member-
one. So
She was a member of the Justice League at one point.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty cool. Donovan says Wonder Woman was never going to be in Man of Tomorrow. I kind of agree with that, but the scoopers were scooping. It says here. Go ahead. Sorry.
I still wouldn't put it past it completely to have an appearance or something in there. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't put it past it either.
Many DCU projects are close to being greenlit. One unknown project has already been. This is so vague for him to do this. I hate when he does this because I'm like, oh God, what is it? What are we talking about here? Also, Dynamic Duo is not being rewritten to be part of the DCU. The film is progressing really well. So this is an Elseworlds film now. It's confirmed it's not part of the DCU.
I think that was kind of a given, though.
Same. I like there was like well, we don't know, but like just based off the pitch and stuff, of like this clearly doesn't feel like it fits in the current DCU.
I do
don't
like
know.
the style. Isn't that the one that's like part puppet, part animation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a really unique style, but I just don't think that there was really ever any hope of it being connected to this.
No.
Now
Another
Sam McCurdy. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Darren. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying like that's another Batman-y kind of project they're working on.
Yeah, has it been confirmed that Batman is not in that? I know it's the.
I don't know. It's
No,
just
it's
a
the
Robin so
younger
far,
audience,
but maybe
yeah.
it's a cameo or an appearance or something.
Sam
I still
McCarty.
don't know how I feel about that. Like Dick
About a
and
cameo?
Jason, no, about Dick and Jason being Robin at the same time. I still don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
That's why it's Elseworld, right? Like you can kind of
Yeah.
do whatever the heck you want.
We'll see.
Sam McCurdy will be the cinematographer for Man of Tomorrow. He worked on both seasons of Peacemaker, Shogun, and Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Now, Shogun and Monarch,
Shogun
the
looks
cinematography is crazy.
Yeah.
Peacemaker
Yeah.
was all right. It wasn't like a beacon of like justice when it comes to fucking
He's
cinematography.
2 for 3. That's all right.
Yeah, so
I
these
mean,
two are good. So I'm excited for that.
I have issues with Peacemaker, but the cinematography wasn't one of them.
No,
so
you're right. It
bring
wasn't.
it
Yeah, I
clear.
don't know.
But I mean, the cinematography of Shogun was beautiful.
I haven't even seen
Yeah.
it, but I've seen like the shots I've seen.
I
Look
fucking love Shogun.
incredible.
Shogun is amazing.
Yeah. There won't be a trailer for Clayface for the next couple of months. James Gunn hasn't seen the film yet, which is in its first cut. It's still scheduled for release in September. So, how do we feel about no trailer this early in the year? Do you think it's appropriate, or should they be pumping out a trailer for Clayface
They're fine.
when because they're in the cycle for Supergirl right now? They're advertising for Supergirl,
Way
so-
early.
It's
Yeah.
still
Way
8 months
early.
out, so it's fine.
Plus, we've seen set photos, and I think it looks really good. So,
I would not be shocked if they put a trailer out in June just in time for Supergirl. Just for they can
Yeah.
put it in front of Supergirl. As long as it plays in front of Supergirl, they are fine. This is a low budget horror movie. They do not usually market those until midway through the year. That's just how it
Yeah.
works. They don't have they could have the budget. It's DC, but like typically they don't have the budget to like be promoting it all year long. So they're fine.
I mean, we don't know how much of their budget is going to be in marketing because the production budget was around 40 million, or the reported budget was around 40 million. We don't know if that's just production or if any of that was put aside for marketing. So
Here's my question. They keep calling Clayface a horror film.
mhm.
Is it really going to be a horror movie? Because Marvel was promoting Doctor
planning
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as a horror film. Barely.
I actually think Clayface is going to be rated R, though, as far as I know.
I mean,
So-
it was written by Mike Flanagan, who is awesome. But
Yeah,
I mean, like that was the entire pitch when like James Gunn got up there, being like, we can have a sci-fi movie, we can have a horror movie, we can have an action movie, we can have a comedy. Like his entire pitch was like DC can be any kind of genre, which I think is the best thing they could do currently.
hold on, let me see here. All right, so
the release date is still a little cursed though for Clayface.
so we talked about the Batman stuff. His final answer states he's going back to working on storyboards right now, but this is the bit of news I wanted to talk about as well. The Man of Tomorrow is most likely taking inspiration from Panic in the Sky storyline, where Brainiac, with the help of Maxima, invades Earth, Brainiac had taken over the Almerac and coerced Maxima into aiding him. Superman assembles a team of heroes to fight Brainiac. Following Maxima's betrayal of Brainiac, the heroes defeat him and World.
Well,
And this was a 1992 story, if I remember correctly.
It's a good story.
That furthers the theory that the female casting is Maxima. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what have I been saying this whole time? That this would be a not Justice League kind of movie. Like this is kind of what we heard of, like, yeah, it's going to be like a team up of all these characters together, the pseudo Justice League kind of story. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed that Deathstroke is in there too in that story. So
Yep.
Too bad we're not going to get him. They might replace him with Vigilante from Peacemaker. He'd just have Vigilante in there.
And
We
you
could
see
get Deathstroke.
you see Dick Grayson right there on that picture too. He's wearing his disco outfit.
That's the one that Joe loves. He loves that outfit.
Is that Mr. Miracle down there?
Miracle.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
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 Joe, that's your Joe. Is that your favorite Nightwing costume?
The old school, the old school original Titans Nightwing costume is my favorite.
I love that suit.
By the way, this storyline was kind of a prelude to Superman leading the Justice League in Dan Jurgens' run on Justice League. It was right when Keith Giffen was kind of leaving the book, and they kind of followed this up with Superman as the leader, and that was a terrible run of Justice League.
It was fine.
So we got Booster Gold over here too.
Mm-hmm.
Booster Gold's at the
I have
bottom.
a question, Eric.
Yeah.
I see Shazam over there. Does this confirm Zachary Levi is back in the DCU?
I think it is. He's back.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go.
I have such a love-hate relationship with Zachary Levi right now.
Fuck Zachary Levi.
We also have the who is that playing Aquaman? We know it's not Jason Momoa. Are they just going to put Patrick in the role? They're going to make him Aquaman since he was kind of Aquaman in the second
Bring
movie
back
anyway.
freaking Reacher.
And you also got
Here's Patrick.
Wasn't that the guy who played Ocean Master?
Yeah.
Oh, P. Willie. Yeah, Patrick
Yeah.
Wilson. P. Willie.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson. Is that it?
Yeah.
you also
Yeah, I
got
thought I had
Wally
it right.
down. You also got Wally down there in the bottom corner. So
Yeah. So we got.
how does Wally, Darren?
I mean, they won't know the difference. It's just a guy in a red suit.
And Dr. Fate, Guy Gardner, of course. We already have him.
Yeah.
So
Supergirl's back there, which
I'm trying to see who's just behind Supergirl. It's so small, I can't quite
I think it's
tell.
Dr. Fate. I think that's Dr. Fate.
oh yeah.
All right,
Yep.
somebody
Okay.
give Pierce
It
Brosnan
might be
a call.
Agent Liberty.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You know, like Booster Gold is there, and like
it-
Miracle is there, and
That looks like the Ray. I don't know if it's the Ray. Just because gold helmet,
Skywalker?
kind of black blue uniform, it almost looks like the Ray.
Chat, is it Dr. I'm sure somebody in the chat has read this recently. I haven't read this story since the 90s, so I don't know.
I have
have
the
it.
trade paperback somewhere. I could go find it.
There was a re-release of this Panic in the Sky new edition, I believe, in 2016, where all of them were re-released with like new cover art and everything. That's Matrix Supergirl, so that's the fake one.
Yeah, that was just before. That was before Peter David's run, where he had Matrix and Linda Danvers merge into one.
Red Tornado behind Supergirl in the black and gold. Am I colorblind?
I think I think they're thinking of Mr. Miracle at the
Wait, is
bottom.
that-
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my trade.
Actually, I could probably make the picture bigger. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. I was gonna say, can you do that?
There he is. That's blown up. Right here.
Can you move the picture at all?
Can you not see him?
Just
Oh, I see what
chat's-
you're saying. Yeah. Let me pull it up some. There we go.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's Fate because you can see the insignia on the chest. You can see the Naboo insignia. I'm pretty sure that's Fate.
How did I get that right and nobody else was agreeing with me?
I didn't say I wasn't agreeing, but everybody was talking at once. I'm pretty sure
There's
that's Fate.
Booster Gold. down there at the bottom.
I wonder if he can get his movie out before this.
Oh my
Probably
god.
not. Or show, I mean.
That's not a
No.
movie. Yeah.
It's a show, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I mean, could be. It could change it for all we know.
Does this mean Gal is coming back as Wonder Woman right here in this?
Hell yeah. No, it's Linda Carter.
Serenity says Matrix isn't fake Supergirl. She
No,
has
it's
no love or
Adrian
respect.
Pilecki.
Yes, I know because of what happened
Oh,
with
I
Crisis.
hyped
I
as hell, Jay.
understand.
It'd be
I
pretty cool, wouldn't
understand.
That would be insane.
It'd be like the biggest deep cut ever that like 97% of the people wouldn't know.
I would have loved her in Crisis. I think
Yeah.
that would have been incredible.
What, like just seeing her cameo or like her having a role?
I mean, I would have liked a Wonder Woman appearance / cameo. Like it should have been Linda Carter, but I would have taken her too.
Yeah.
Linda Carter's obviously the ideal choice, just to be like,
Right.
oh, to have her like John Wesley's ship and Brandon Routh in like the same shot or something,
Yeah.
and Michael Keaton, or not Michael Keaton. I'm sorry, Kevin Conroy, having like
I mean,
those four.
I mean, I would have taken either one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
having all of the like TV kind of older actors come together, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Before we do the next topic, I was kind of waiting for Joe to get back since we've already figured out who it is. We did get a super sticker on the DEBUNKS channel from Columbia Rican. $2 super sticker, and it is a little fox giving like a thumbs up or a one up, or I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, I appreciate it. I actually wish that we could see them here on StreamYard. Like they would let me pull it up on the screen.
Let me send you something really quickly, Eric, while we wait.
Oh, actually, you just reminded me, speaking of send, I need to send Ronan and Darren something that I discovered earlier.
We've kind of already talked about this kind of thing, but I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
There.
Let's see. Oh, the animated films. Let's look at this.
Yeah.
All right. And what did you think about this?
I just thought that was interesting. I just wanted to hear what
Zootopia 2 being number 1 is crazy to me.
It's so crazy.
Wait a minute. Highest
Like not in a bad way, but you know.
It's I
wild.
again, I said it would do good, but I did not think it would do this good.
Yeah.
And we have Darren's favorite movie at number 7.
No. Although I would take that above the fucking live action Lion King at number 3.
Joe, you have returned, so
Yeah, I can't find it, and I'm annoyed. It wasn't on my shelf.
I think we had it confirmed in the chat that it was Dr. Fate, and we blew it up and looked at
Yeah.
it. So
Ronan, Darren, look at what I just sent you guys.
all right, so we got Zootopia 2 at number 1, Inside Out 2 at number 2, live action Lion King
That's awesome.
at number 3, which I think is funny that it's live action, but it's in the animated section because we all know that it's animated and it's not actual like lions, which I think is funny.
I'm sorry, I just confirmed it's Agent Liberty.
Oh, okay. Frozen 2 being at number 4 instead of regular Frozen? How do we feel about that?
I don't care.
Oh, I mean, it just built up a fandom over over those what
It
6
had a
years it was off.
it longer than that, I think.
One
when did
was
Frozen-
what,
Frozen 2
20
was like 2013.
2013, so it was 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 6 years.
It's the same thing with Inside
Yeah,
Out 2 and
2019.
Moana 2. Inside Out
Yeah.
2 and Moana 2 both did better than
13,
their originals
14,
as well.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
And
I
Zootopia.
thought I could have sworn Frozen 2 came out later than that.
No, it was 2019.
And Super Mario
It
Brothers being at number 5. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Frozen 2 was just before the shutdown.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I mean, Mario being at number 5, that's not crazy.
No.
It's
Do you
not
think
it's
Mar-
not crazy to me now that I know like
Yeah.
what the quality of the movie, but if you would have told me it would have been number 5 through all of these like Disney movies, I probably would have been shocked.
Considering what the last Mario movie did, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Do we think Galaxy can beat that?
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think Galaxy's going to do what Zootopia 2 did. Which, by the way, Zootopia 2 and Avatar pretty much carried Disney last year in sales. Like, crazy.
And this year, I mean...
Yeah, Avatar 2 is still the number one movie in theaters right now. Or Avatar 3, I mean. Still the number one movie in theaters right now.
This year, Toy Story is probably going to be a large part of that carrying force.
Yeah.
I will say, like, with the trajectory of Inside Out 2 and Frozen 2... I'm sorry, in Zootopia 2, I mean... I think Frozen 3 is going to do massive numbers. I think it's going to blow up the box office. I'm not sure when it comes out exactly in terms of month. But especially that being a part one, and like part one of a 2-part story, I think those movies are going to do insane. Oh, what is it?
Oh,
November?
we hit the goal.
It's November.
Thank you for letting us know, Jaybird. Thank you very much for contributing.
Movie. It's going to break bank.
We got a video I want to watch related to Star Wars, but we also have some Star Wars stuff I want to talk about. And so I'm glad Ronan is still here because I'm sure he's got a lot to say about it too. But
I'm here.
Lone Wolf, we'll do these 2 super chats quickly. Lone Wolf with the $2 super chat. Actually, we'll do one and then we'll save the other one till after the next topic since it's a pretty big one. Lone Wolf with the $2 super chat. So Carl Urban might join the DCU. Predictions on who? Who would he play in the DCU?
Arthur McCoy.
Booster Gold.
Carl
Any-
My tin hat has been like Slade Wilson.
Really?
I think
can
he
see
could
that.
be a cool. I think he could be a cool Slade.
Yeah,
An older Slade, but yeah,
I mean, Slade's typically old.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a pretty good one right there.
Yeah, he is typically old. You want to talk about Tara? We'll talk about that Teen Titans storyline?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I mean,
we'll
they
just
are
skip-
working on a Teen Titans movie, so
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying Wildcat. They said Carl Urban for Wildcat.
No.
You wouldn't want to see him as
why don't
Wildcat?
they just get the guy from?
Darren, stop.
That's too funny.
But Jake, you like Wildcat. What are you talking about?
What? What, Ronan?
You like Wildcat. What are you talking about?
I do. Not
This
an
is a-
arrow, though.
This is a follow-up to his other super chat here from Lone Wolf. Darren, you said Black Canary. Let me hear that out then. So what do you think about that? I saw the post. I saw the post.
I think he would make a great Black Canary. With all the attributes of the character, and I pair him with a great Oliver Queen, and yeah, I don't know. I think it'd work well.
Oh my god! All right.
Jake is stunned.
So
How old is he? Not even sure.
Carl Urban,
don't know
probably
Carl
in his
Urban?
late 50s, right?
Oh, how old? Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna guess 58. No, I'll guess lower. 56.
53. 53.
Oh, okay. I was going down a little bit. I was like, I think it's a little bit lower than that, but I knew he was in his 50s.
That I'm like trying to land on, and I can't fucking remember their name. That I think he would be decent as.
Elongated Man?
No,
Max Mercury.
no.
Barry Allen.
God damn it! What's the name?
Jay Garrick? John Wesley Shipp?
Zack Snyder.
You guys aren't helping. Damn it!
Zeep the Living Sponge.
Arm Fall Off Boy.
Cyborg.
Chlorophyll Kid.
Why can I
Bouncy
not
Boy.
think?
We're just gonna keep naming Legion characters until we get it.
Matter Internet.
Vibe. It'll be a Latino.
I can't fucking. No full screen.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh, it's not a Batman character.
Malcolm Merlin. Someone said.
That'd be funny.
That would be
You
funny.
deserve to die. Oh,
All right, well, while you're thinking about that, we're going to jump into the next topic.
Mr. Nebula, the Cosmic Designer.
Okay, that works. So if you remember, we talked about last week the Kathleen Kennedy exit interview she did with, I believe it was Variety or Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, one of those outlets. But she basically said that they changed trajectory. Actually, I've got the quote here. Let's see. Thought I had it here. Maybe I don't. Maybe I lied. I lied. All right. So basically, what she was saying was that they changed trajectory after the failure of some of the Rian Johnson work. I think you guys know what movie that they were talking about, right?
I saw the documentary about it. Yeah.
Wait, which movie?
The Last Jedi.
Oh.
So Kathleen Kennedy, I was reading from here, that they changed trajectory because they were spooked by online negativity following the release of The Last Jedi. And Rian Johnson says, "Zero spooked, sorry." So...
Oh! Sorry. I just now fucking remembered the name. I don't know why it took me this long. Captain Adam. I don't know why it took me so damn long.
Wow. All of that time for Captain Adam?
Oh, I don't know why it took me so long to think of that. I'm like, I could see his face, but I couldn't think of the name. It was driving me nuts. Wow. Okay. Curse you, brain. Sorry.
So we had the architect of Star Wars saying that they changed direction because of online negativity. And then you have Rian Johnson, who was putting these films together, saying, no, that's not the case. So what do we think is happening here? Anybody have any opinions on this? Because one of them is not being straightforward.
It's been, kind of like a maybe not so subtle joke, but like I remember ever since the quote that, if there's footage they're saying that we don't have source material, we don't have comic books or books like that. Like someone said, "Yo, Kathy, you got to get another PR person to help you." Be like, "Yo,
that's true though. They don't, because all the comics and novels are not source material. They are tie-in media."
Yeah,
I would argue that is source material, just not canon, and you can grab from that, much like the way Filoni has in Rebels, where they brought back stuff from the EU in comics and made it canon. I would argue that. It's built-in stuff that's never been officially canon, but
that's
it's under your IP.
You got to remember. You got to remember when you say source material, you mean this is the source from where the thing came from. Superman came from the comics, so the comics are the source material. In the case of Star Wars, the movies are the source. Everything else is... I
see what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying that comics are derivative of the source, or
exactly
adjacent, a follow-up of the source material, because the movies are the source.
That's not to say you can't use them, but they are not source material.
Right.
The movies themselves are the source material.
So movies first, all other media second, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Ronan, or no?
For me, that's always been the case, but it's just like, I would not deny all those books and comics made and not bother, instead of spending like a half a year being like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? X-Wing, we got to do a movie about like flying in space and Star Wars. What do we do? It's like, turn left, there's a whole collection of comics and books, and like, let's pick one up and see what it has. Like, that's the way I see it. Again, even Dave Filoni said he's always think that, the movies, and at that time, Clone Wars was canon, and that was it. Everything else was, like you said, derivative. But like, if it's already built into existence, why not take a look at it? Why not totally dismiss it? Which, again, I never lost sleep over it. I didn't lose my shit, but I was like, yo, Kathy, like let's rethink the PR notion like that, because you do have stuff like that. It's not. You're not having to sit through a bubble of 6 months of like trying to contemplate stuff. Like, stuff exists, and just your choice whether you want to make it canon or adapt it or not. I think, for me.
So I was just looking that there's a few things in the Rise of Skywalker that people say were changed specifically because of what happened in The Last Jedi. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? like some of the
Say that
story elements.
Rey's parentage.
Yeah. So what I have over here, I just looked up an article, and this is what comes up. Rey's heritage explanation appears to undermine the Last Jedi's idea of anyone can be a Jedi. Do you guys hear that? Is that something that an argument you've heard before?
Oh yeah.
I have, but I don't think it undermines it. I think still anyone can be a Jedi. It just happens that she happened to come from a lineage.
The whole thing with Snoke was another one too.
All right, I see that in the chat though. Do you want to like expand on that, Jake? Like, what do you mean?
Oh well, just that he, they built him up for a while and didn't really explore that character properly before getting rid of him in a way that not a lot of people were a fan of. And if anything, it felt like he went out a little too easily. And I felt that the character was just more used as a plot device for Kylo instead of just like his own separate character.
Snoke was used as a plot device, is what you're saying.
I've heard that argument, but I always thought it was ridiculous. Because even though I've heard that argument, it sweeps the original trilogy under the rug. Because Palpatine wasn't a character in the first two movies. Like we now years later know Palpatine's backstory because we saw the prequels, but for 19 years there were no prequels. And Palpatine had no backstory. He just was this mysterious guy that came out of nowhere and was ruling everything until we got those prequels. So when I heard people say, well, we never got backstory on Snoke, it's like, well, that's funny because you never had an issue with that when that was the case with Palpatine.
Well, that's the thing. That like when Palpatine was created, there was nothing else.
Exactly.
When Snoke was created, there's been a whole history of it. So like it's not the same scenario.
And they had also spent a majority of 2 movies building Snoke up, and then nothing really was done.
I don't think they did. I mean, Snoke had scenes in the first movie, and he was killed halfway through the second movie. I think they were building Kylo Ren up. I think it was Kylo Ren's rise to power. I think one of the biggest mistakes the third movie made was bringing back the Emperor instead of making Kylo Ren the big bad, because then you have an arc that makes sense. It was his rise to power, and they kind of undercut that.
What about Poe and Finn? There's a lot of complaints about those characters as well.
I think Finn would have worked better as the POV character for that new trilogy.
Yeah. And again, I like Rey a lot. Poe's my guy, but like beyond that, we waited until 4 years, so the 3 characters can be finally together. Like, the fuck?
It says here that Kylo Ren's mask, also that was smashed in Episode 8, and symbolic of breaking from Vader, returns in Episode 9, which has seen a retreat from the thematic choice. Is that you would think about that?
That's funny. Yeah.
I always say we got
back.
We got 2/3 of a great trilogy. They crapped the bed in the third one.
Okay, so so I know we've talked about this, but I have some other Star Wars stuff we're going to watch here in a second. But everybody here, we're talking about the sequel trilogy. Is there an agreement on the quality, or are some people more favorable to like other movies? Like, how do we feel about the 7, 8, 9 or 7, 8, 9? Like, which order would you rank those movies in terms of liking it, disliking it?
8, 7, 9.
8, 7, 9. Okay.
Give me a sec. I'll go last.
So you like The Last Jedi the best?
I love The Last Jedi. I think The Last Jedi, I always say, is one of 3 flawless Star Wars movies. The theatrical cut of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and The Last Jedi. Those 3 movies are the 3 Star Wars movies I think are flawless. And I'll tell you this, I have a lot of issues with Rise of Skywalker. But I think it's the weakest Star Wars movie of the Disney era, but it's still stronger than the best movie of the prequel trilogy.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anybody agree with Joe on that one? No?
Oh, hold on.
So where would you guys go in your order of 7, 8, 9?
From most liked to least liked, I'd go 7, 9, 8.
So 8 is your least favorite. Last Jedi is your least favorite. Okay.
Correct. I don't particularly like 8 or 9, there are parts in them that I can enjoy, but as a whole, I
Yeah.
don't like them as movies. And when it comes to like other ones too, granted, I think when it comes to the Star Wars movies, I think Revenge of the Sith is honestly a little overrated. Like, it's a good movie, but I'm not like, I don't put it as like, oh, like, top of the franchise, this masterclass of cinema that a lot of people will try and over exaggerate it as. I mean, it's really good, sure, but it's got its issues.
Yeah, it's weird because like to me, I think 7 out of the trilogy is 7 is the best one, and it's weird because I don't, as a whole, don't like 8 or 9, but probably 8 is probably a better made film. But 9, I have a fun time when Poe, Rey, and Finn are together. Like I was like, finally, after 4 fucking years, I get to hang out with him. But it's at the end of the story, and they're doing the same shit again as Han, Luke, and Leia, and like it's weird, man. I don't consider Last Jedi to be a perfect movie, and again, I'm being brutal. I'm not, just spitting on his face and whatnot. But like to me, my least favorite Star Wars movie is Attack of the Clones, and then on top of that, I put, and not in this order, but Solo, Rise of Skywalker, and Last Jedi.
That's my same bottom 4, just slightly rearranged.
Okay, so Joe, you think Last Jedi is one of the top ones, right?
Absolutely, top 3.
Okay, Ronan, you don't agree with that, right?
No.
Jake doesn't agree with that.
Nope.
This is so weird. This is like one of the only panels I've ever been on where people don't like The Last Jedi.
What about you, Dan?
Unless if Matt Jarbo's there.
You haven't been on a lot of panels then.
No, I've been on a lot.
Execution goes a long way to me. The example, and again, I don't lose sleep over it. To me, when Luke tosses the lightsaber over his shoulders, it felt like an SNL moment. Instead of like, you could have done the exact same thing, but just instead of tossing over your shoulders, you drop it right in front of Rey, and that says the same thing in a different tone. For me, I'm like, no, I can't, and won't do this again. Instead of be like, fuck this.
Without trying to force a laugh.
That people have always said that. I've always heard people say that was like an attempt at humor, throwing the thing over his shoulder. There's nothing funny about that. Like, I've seen the movie a million times. There's nothing. I don't understand why people think that was a joke moment. There's nothing funny about it.
I agree, it's not funny. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be. Like, I don't understand why people think that's like a joke. Because
at a certain point, even the music goes away, and it's just like, boom, and I'm like, what?
Because it book opens right where Force Awakens ends, and then it's like you're into the next scene, and then you hear your music cut. I think my biggest issue with Last Jedi is that, well, I mean, I have a lot of issues with it plot-wise, but it introduced a lot of things that I wanted to see more of, and it barely tapped into those things.
So let me ask you this, Joe. If you could give a couple bullet points on why you think Last Jedi is in the top of your, or close to the top of your list, what would it be? Like, what things do you love about the movie that you think got done right in that film?
I just thought, number one, I thought it was an incredibly edge of your seat, suspenseful movie. Like, I remember I had to pee really bad, and I couldn't. I had to see what was going to happen next. Look at let's take Princess Leia. One thing that people have criticized, which I will never comprehend, is the scene where Leia gets blown into space and uses the Force to fly back to the ship. That is one of the greatest moments in all of Star Wars, if you know the history of the franchise. Because in 1980, Obi-Wan said, "That boy is our last hope," and Yoda said, "No, there is another." And we found out, we didn't know then, we found out in 1983, he was talking about Leia. Leia was powerful with the Force. So since 1983, we had been waiting with bated breath to see Leia display that power that we were told she had. And now in 2017, Carrie Fisher is dead. She is gone. We went into The Last Jedi knowing she was gone. And sitting in that theater, Carrie Fisher no longer with us, we got to see Princess Leia do this really badass thing and use the Force to save her life. And it was a triumphant moment, like 20 some years in the making. where it was like we finally got to see her use her power and save her life. And I remember I wanted to stand up and cheer at that moment. I'm like, this is one of the most triumphant moments for this character in the entire franchise. And to my shock, I go home and the internet is mocking that. I'm like, were you guys ever fans? Were you guys ever fans that since 1983 you haven't wanted to see this? Like that
Joe is standing on business right now.
That melted my brain that people made fun of that scene. I'm like, how were you Star Wars fans that like I was a kid in the 80s and we knew Leia was strong with the Force. I waited for this moment. And we got it. And then people are like, Leia, Mary Poppins. I'm like, it melted my brain that people couldn't stand up and cheer for one of the most triumphant moments for that character in the franchise. And then at the end, we get Luke. He does one of the most badass things we've ever seen a Jedi do. He astral projects across the galaxy, defeats the villain. He's not even there. It was like, it was one of those, that movie was perfect. Like that movie was perfect.
Okay, so now I want to hear some of the rebuttals on it. So what are we doing here?
Again, can I get into one more thing? Just one last thing.
Go ahead. One more.
Whatever people's criticisms are, the criticism about The Last Jedi that annoys me the most, and I've heard people say this time and time again, is, well, they left the franchise with nowhere to go. They closed off. They ended the trilogy. There was not. When I heard so many people say that, and I'm like, what the frack are you talking about? It ended with the rebels or the resistance hiding in a cave. They were hiding in a cave. Their forces were decimated. Kylo Ren, the villain, had just come to power. How did that end the franchise? They didn't win. They're hiding in a cave. And people are like, they ended it. I'm like, well, that's a pretty shitty ending if you think that's the ending, because they didn't win. Anyway, go on.
All right. Everything Joe felt about seeing, knowing Leia's lineage and the powers, I'm with him there. Yes, I knew she was powerful. For me, that execution of that moment, it felt powerful, but it felt whimsy at the same time for me. And I was just like, you could have done something similar. And again, I don't work in Hollywood. I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not a director. I will admit that. But for you, it worked. For me, it didn't, because I was just like flowing through space. Why, like, out of all this stuff right now, why is it feeling like this? Something similar could have happened where, like, because again, it's in the middle of a battle. This ship gets bombarded multiple times from these Star Destroyers or whatever, and nothing happens to the ship they're on. It's and then you could pinpoint of her holding the hand out. Instead of flowing through space, she's holding back the blasters, and she's protecting everybody in there, including Admiral Akbar. Instead of getting sucked into space, and it's just like, holy shit! Like, is she a Jedi or not? No, she's a Skywalker, and she's for the rebellion. And then she should have flown back the blasters back into each ship and blow them to bits. And she faints or whatever and be like, phew, okay, we got away. And again, everything you said about preaching about Leia knowing how powerful she was, that you've been waiting for that, I'm with you there. It's just that you dug her flowing through space. I didn't dig that. Execution wise, didn't work for me. And then you cut to, you were saying about the ending of like people saying like it felt like they just ended it. To me, it felt like, well, where do you leave off? Where do you go from here? Like it feels like a closer of the story, because Rey didn't go to the bad guy, and the Empire were defeated. It doesn't mean the rebellion like kicked their asses and whatnot, but they felt like they got zapped through because of a powerful Jedi blinding them and be like, oh, I wasn't there. I was just messing with you the whole time. To me, it feel like, wow, well, do I even want to continue with all it? Like, where are they going to go from here? And again, even that title, it feels definitive conclusion, The Last Jedi. If I was ending a trilogy and I had those working titles, that's how I would end it. That'd be the title of my last movie, The Last Jedi. Be like, all right, no more Jedi anymore. We got to be something else. again, it's fascinating because when I hear you defending it, I'm like, yeah, a lot of the ideas and concepts we were sharing similarities how we feel about them. It's just that you dug the executions. I did not. Again, the one you might even get irritated by it. People say Cantobite. I love the idea and the concept of Cantobite and what Ryan was trying to say. And just the way he went about trying to say it, that I was just like, what are we doing here? What's with the random PETA like ad? And like I get it, don't treat animals bad. Like I get that, but it's happening now. And I'll say this: there was a moment with Finn who I did not like how they treated the character throughout the whole movie.
I had to get popcorn.
There was a moment where he was going to sacrifice himself for the rebellion, and I was like, oh my gosh! I'm like, okay, he finally gets to like fight for something in terms, and then he gets just like kindly smacked by Rostico's ship. Which I don't hate Rostico, but I was just like, well, there went that hero moment.
And then we get one of my favorite lines in all of Star Wars, a line that I quote all the time. That's how we're going to win. Not by fighting what we hate, but by protecting what we love. I love that.
I like that line. I like it, but in some regards, it does feel corny. And in some regards, for me, by the time I got to that point in the movie, it didn't feel earned for me. I was like, sure. Cool. That's great.
Welcome, Omega, by the way.
I'm gonna just take this moment to hop off. My voice has hit its limit. It was at its limit before I even joined, but I'm gonna trade off one incredible person for another. Omega,
Okay.
you can take my spot.
Take care, Darren. Feel better.
Take care, Dan.
Forgive me, I look a mess. I just woke up.
So we're talking about Star Wars
Beautiful
episodes
Omega.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I was just because when I woke up.
Do you like the Last Jedi? Is that one of your favorites?
Absolutely not. I hated all of the sequels. I didn't even. Well, I'm being honest. I didn't even bother with the rise. I didn't even bother with the Rise of the Skywalker or whatever the hell you want to call it because I was done. I completely checked out. I was threw up my hands and I don't even want to see the rest of this bullshit anymore.
Wow.
Oh man, now I need popcorn. Shit.
I mean, I heard Joe's kind of rebuttal how he liked certain parts in The Last Jedi. Like, hey, good, you liked it. That's cool, man. Love what you love, but I didn't like it.
It didn't work for you. Didn't work for you.
All
All right.
Even Poe, dude. Again, I'm looking for Poe to do something, please. And
Yeah,
like he gets
I will
grounded.
always protect the Last Jedi because that's how we're going to win, by saving what we love.
So Omega, Ronan, what you just said about Poe, that's how I felt about Finn. Because after Force Awakens, I feel like he barely did a damn thing.
He did the same thing again as Force Awakens.
Yeah, you were seeing nothing fresh with the character at all.
Yeah, he was just. I want to say he was like Han Solo all over again. He was just another hotshot pilot, but instead of a smuggler, he was a New Republic pilot. It was like we've seen this character before, and it's like especially even with the Force Awakens, I didn't hate it as much because the first one we had, it's like okay, this is a New Hope all over again, but okay, they're going to hand it off to a new generation, correct? No, they. It was like they did it.
I want to ask a question. Joe, you love The Last Jedi. You think it's a perfect film. Let me ask you this. Captain Phasma. Thoughts?
Thoughts on Captain Phasma?
Yeah.
She's fine. She's rather unimportant, but she's fine.
Waste of potential.
Waste of potential. They had a 6'3" chromed out female stormtrooper who was a total badass. Looked like a total badass, but she did absolutely nothing. They literally threw her in the trash.
That's the history of Star Wars.
They literally threw her in the trash.
They did that to Boba Fett in the original trilogy.
Yeah, I know.
But we can change history, right? No, we can change the future, right? We can improve. There's plenty of
opportunity. It was a badass villain, a badass confident villain that everyone's afraid of. But no, they literally threw her in the trash.
No.
Okay. Well,
I remember even at a Q&A, someone asked him about Rian Johnson, like, asked about thoughts, and he's like, yeah. Even he admitted, like, yeah, I messed up that part. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
he owns it.
One guy who just yells out traitor was more of an impact in that movie than a major character. It's like,
And,
oh,
there are
Well-
parts of 8 and 9 that work for me in a vacuum, but overall, I just don't connect with them.
Yeah, when I was listening on my phone, they were like, I think y'all was talking about when Leia reveals that she's Force sensitive. I was like, yeah, we kind of knew she was Force sensitive at least somewhat the whole time. One, she's Luke's twin sister, and two, she was trained in the Force. But when she gets sucked out in the vacuum, and all she does is just fly back. That's it.
Yeah, I like the idea
Reveal.
behind the scene. I just didn't like the way
Yeah.
they did it.
Yeah, and how they did it is like this. Like, come on, you're ILM. This is how you show it. This. Okay, fine.
And same thing with Luke. What he did near the end, that was cool, but his death being the thing that happens right after that. I just remember sitting there. I'm like,
It's like I had more of an emotional pull from the EA Star Wars video games. How Jedi Fallen Order, Survivor had better video game, had better emotional pull than a multi-million-dollar Hollywood movie.
even going further back than that, those Force Unleashed games, they had emotional pull.
Yeah, and not even a cool, crazy special because it's a video game. Of course, going to make you do crazy shit. Not even counting all of that. Just the writing itself was better than a multi-million-dollar Hollywood movie.
Okay,
That's
so we got
why
some
I think, like, the movie is well made, and I'll happily watch the documentary making of before I rewatch the movie.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm never gonna watch it again, but I'm like, I'd rather watch the documentary than the actual movie.
Same.
Okay, so let's go through some super chats here. We got a 99-cent super chat from Staggervore. Thank you for contributing. And we got some stuff from Columbia Rican here. $5 super chat. Rian Johnson didn't know the source material because there was a lot of characters that appeared in the TV shows that could have had an arc in the movie.
Tale as old as time. You disrespect the source material, the movie turns out shit.
That comment doesn't make any sense to me at all. Just because he didn't include characters from the TV show doesn't means he doesn't know the source material. I mean, that's just silly.
No, I Columbia Rican, respectfully disagree. Again, what I've been saying for the longest time, it would have been nice if before anybody shot a frame of any of those movies, it would have been nice if for at the bare minimum a week, a month, the writers of these movies would have hang out and smoke weed or whatever and be like, yo, what you want to do? Okay, you do this. I want to do this. Okay. All right, can we make it work? All right, let's do it. Fuck it. Let's go.
I mean,
are you sure they didn't smoke weed?
I mean,
Lando. Nah, they were on coke. They were on
Lando
coke. Smashed it out in the afternoon.
Lando Calrissian didn't show up until episode 9. I mean, it doesn't mean you don't know the source material. Just because you didn't use characters doesn't mean you. I mean, we had 4 Star Trek movies. Q wasn't in any of them. Do you think the writers didn't know who Q was? I mean,
Probably not, honestly.
That honestly doesn't make any sense to me. That statement.
I wonder, and Columbia Rican, you'll have to clear this up for me. I wonder if what you're saying, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, is that you would have preferred them to expand on characters who are already introduced instead of like introducing all of these new people. Am I correct? Is that what you mean? Not sure. But here, another $5 super chat says, try watching the Star Wars content in chronological order and then watch The Last Jedi. You will understand why fans don't like it.
I have. Still don't understand why fans don't like it.
Any of you other guys want to chime in?
Again, even editing, to me, I remember being it's a choice. It is definitely a choice. We got to chase this ship across the galaxy for 2 hours.
Well,
for a movie, and then cut to we're gonna hang out in Miami for a few minutes, and then they're gonna watch a soap opera between Rey and Kylo. Are they gonna fuck? Are they not gonna fuck? And
I just never really cared for Kylo as a character, so maybe that's why the last 2 movies didn't really work.
he could have been so much better. He could have.
And here's the weird part: I fucking love the trailers and teasers for Last Jedi. I love those. That move, those teasers and trailers.
It was Empire Strikes Back all over again.
And Rise of Skywalker was
word for word, bar for bar. They stole everything from Empire Strikes Back and did it worse.
Even when Snoke makes Rey look out the window, look what I'm doing to your ship. Same thing Palpatine was doing to Luke.
Instead of being a snowfield, it was a salt field where everything was white that turns red, I guess, when it gets, I don't know, it was weird.
That was a beautiful
When you look
scene.
at Rise of Skywalker, the whole beat in the
I agree with Joe. I agree with Joe.
I'll give them that. They had some great special effects there. That was cool. I will give them that.
when you look at the damn end of like Rise of Skywalker too, especially whenever Palpatine comes back, the quote unquote supposedly bad person gives their life to stop the bigger bad person. What other movie does that happen in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. Oh god. In that one scene when they were being chased by the Star Destroyers, and when Holdo was basically says, "Okay, no, here's what all she needed to do is say, okay, oh, here's what I'm doing." And then, it's basically when she says she's kind of like letting everyone else go off while they chase the main fleet. It was like, okay, look, but I can't have anyone know what I'm doing, so you're going in prison. This is what you get for being nosy and questioning my authority. He could have just stayed there and be like, all right, yeah, cool, this is our idea. Instead, it was such bullshit.
We got a $5 super chat from Zap Rousdower here. They are all bad. Some good things here and there, but overall 8 and 9 are bad, and 7 is good because it copies A New Hope but does it worse. And he doesn't like your take.
Well, he's wrong because it doesn't copy A New Hope. Like, that's one of the great misnomers out there. It takes a couple cues from A New Hope, like putting the plans in a droid, things like that. But generally speaking, it's a completely new story. It doesn't really copy A New Hope.
Couple? I don't know.
It's more than a couple.
For me, I fucking love The Force Awakens. Even now, after all these years, I'm like, do we have to do another Death Star? I mean, Star Killer.
Yeah, they started on a desert planet. Instead of Tatooine, it's Jakku. They have another Death Star, but instead just a Star Killer base, which is an entire planet. Ilium, what they used to be Ilium, where they used to mine out kyber crystals. They throw someone in the garbage compactor.
You can do that with any. You can do that with any movie.
And you know what?
Let me ask you. Okay. He came down from the heavens and healed everyone with his touch. Died, Jesus? Was resurrected, and then ascended back into the heavens.
That's Anakin.
Does it sound like I'm talking about Jesus? Because I'm talking about E.T.
Okay.
Wait, E.T. got crucified?
He didn't get crucified, but he died. And then
Dalton says, am I agreeing with Joe tonight? What's happening? We got a super chat
Welcome
over
to the
here.
party, Dalton. I'm always right.
Big Fieldy with the $2.99 super chat. I stand with Joe.
And listen, I respect that. Like, listen,
I gotta respect it. Yeah,
Joe knows where it's at.
Luke's take on that movie with what they did with Luke. Some people needed to see that. I didn't need to see that yet. That's just where I'm at.
Eric,
and obviously Mark wasn't also into it as well.
Although I still will never forgive them for having most of the cast right there, and they never had a scene together.
Yeah, and the reasoning that they recently gave for that was really stupid.
Again, and here's the thing: I understand
I'm glad they didn't.
Story
I'm really
first,
glad they didn't have a scene together.
but like story first, sure, but like you're telling me you guys are making so much money, and you're gonna make so much money with these movies because everybody loves Star Wars. You telling me you couldn't figure out a way to put them in one shot together or scene together? Just an acknowledgement within your story. You couldn't figure that out. I'm like, come on.
I love that they didn't put them together because to me it would have putting them together wouldn't have fit the story that was told. And
it was told it wasn't good, but
I thought it was great. But that's the thing. You would have had to have constructed the story around a fan moment, and that's backwards. You can't construct the story around a scene like that. That's not how you write.
Is it a fan moment when a generation is passing the torch to another generation?
Well, they did that. They just didn't do it all in the same scene together.
So we do have a question here, and I'm going to ask the panel first before we do this. I was in the private chat, and I said, no, we weren't because we're over the 2-hour mark, and typically this is where we wrap it up. However, if people want to do one, we can do one. We need at least 3 people to do it. And I know Ronan usually jumps out before the end of the stream. So
yeah, I'm at the season where like Ronan's got to get his 8-hour sleep.
The topic we're going to do is our favorite sidekick characters across all media. We're going to do 3 of them, and if I get at least a couple people to stay on, we can do a quick round of it. As long as we're not going to talk for a while, we can just go through our list and and do that if people want to. It's up to y'all. Someone said here, Zap says Matt Jarbo is online talking about the same topic. Well, that's because Star Wars is in the news right now, so a lot of people
and I love Matt. Matt's a friend. I love Matt, but he's always wrong on this. Just so you know.
Stream topic it's Star Wars related. We had two. It was James Gunn and Star Wars, and Last Jedi is the contested film. That's why we got into talking about it. All right. Anybody want to stay on and do the best sidekicks or favorite sidekicks?
Hey, I just woke up, so I'm wired.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
I'm gonna start heading out, boys.
I haven't prepared anything.
We've exhausted our topic, so yeah, we're pretty much done with the main topic. So
I could talk about this all day long, but y'all probably went over the same stuff I was going to say. So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Vernon, for hanging out. I appreciate you.
Muchachos, get yourselves. Be safe out there. I'll see you, Space Cowboys.
I didn't miss your super chat, Lone Wolf. I'm getting ready to answer the remaining super chats right now, and if we get more, we'll cover those as well. My list isn't the right list. Judge me if you want. And here it is, the $5 super chat. Thank you for the chew, and here is the 5. Best to worst, in my opinion, New Hope. So best to worst, New Hope, Return of the Jedi,
Empire. You missed Empire.
Force Awakens, Phantom Menace. Yeah, Empire's at the beginning. Revenge of the Sith, Last Jedi, Rise of Sky. Attack of the Clones is at the bottom of everybody's list.
Not mine.
I loved Attack of the Clones.
I mean,
I like it better than Phantom Menace.
I didn't love Attack of the Clones, but I would put Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and Solo under it.
I would say Empire, Return of the Jedi, New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Power Gap, Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, did not see because
I mean, we kind of gave our Star Wars list last week, so we kind of know everybody likes stuff.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get one, so yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, and
that's like mainline Star Wars, not the side stuff, but just mainline.
And I've always had this unpopular opinion too. I've gotten so much shit for this, but I don't dislike the movie. Like Return of the Jedi is always my favorite. Then New Hope, Empire. I love the movie. It's my least favorite out of the original 3, but I still love the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I love Empire to bits. I just like the other 2 more. I don't necessarily have a problem with Empire. The other 2 have higher highs for me, and then including some of those, as you called them, side stories in there. Rogue One is actually my next favorite. And then I'd put Revenge of the Sith. A little bit of a gap, and then probably Phantom Menace and Force Awakens are kind of equal for me, and then Attack of the Clones, and then Solo, Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rogue One would be up there in one of my favorite Star Wars movies ever, until I saw this other dude do kind of a video on it, and he was kind of just pointing out all the dumb bits in Rogue One. And I was like, yeah, and he was kind of comparing that to Andor. And I'm like, you're right, but they're also Andor has a completely different tone, which is a series, than the movie Rogue One, which has got to be condensed in 5 hours. He was like the whole thing with what's the blind dude with the
like I'm one with the Force is with
me. I was like, okay, this is why I hate incompetent stormtroopers, because I was like, okay, what's their armor even for? How did he beat your ass with a stick? I'm like, look,
when he can't see
I like Chow Yun-Fat, but come on, bro, you just beat all these stormtroopers with a stick.
Yeah, I mean, at least Vader kicked ass at the end of that movie.
Oh yeah, that was a great show. That was great.
Columbia Rican here with the $5 super chat. Thank you again that we hit the goal in the Debunks channel. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do another bonus vertical live stream. I did one a couple weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. So we're going to do another one of those for hitting the goal. So thank you.
Did you see the poll option that I recommended for you to include tonight?
Yeah, I already did it before you got here though.
Okay.
So we'll save it for next time. Let me look and see what it is. Favorite video game character. Okay, we'll do that for the next one.
All right. Cool.
Movies, TV shows, games like Fallen Order Jedi, Jedi Survivor, Battlefront 2, Squadrons are all canon. A lot of those characters could have had an arc. So yeah, he's confirming what I said earlier was that he would just have preferred seeing those characters in the films
Yeah, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that he didn't know the canon by not including those characters. Like that statement still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and besides, I think Survivor is kind of the last in timeline of those pieces of media, and this is still like 30. Even at the end of Survivor, that's The Force Awakens is still like almost 20, 30 years.
There's like 2 decades in between that.
Well, I would have to say Battlefront 2, going through the storyline of that, showed a better Luke Skywalker than the entirety of...
Oh, the PS2 Battlefront 2 days?
Well, no, just the more recent Battlefront 2 from EA. Like, if you go through the storyline, it should... I'm like, this is Luke Skywalker. This is great. I mean, granted, all the other microtransaction stuff they tried to pull with it.
From what I saw that game, it was a broken mess, so I didn't bother with it.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, you could probably get it for dirt cheap now.
Okay.
Before we move into the next super chat, because it's the last Star Wars related one, do we believe that Ryan, when he says that he didn't change the Rise of Skywalker at all due to backlash on the internet, do we believe that or do we not believe that?
Bullshit, because they completely sidelined Rose in The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Well, he had nothing to do with Rise of Skywalker.
Right, but they were saying that behind the scenes, the decisions that were made were because of the backlash.
Oh, absolutely.
In the subsequent stuff. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because being how she was sidelined in the return, I know he had nothing to do with that one, but she had like maybe 1 or 2 scenes in Rise of Skywalker from what I hear.
Well, yeah, but I think they mean going from 7 to 8 and then to 9. The changes that they made were due to fan backlash, is what they're suggesting.
J.J. Abrams also, not only did they make those changes, he also famously told a big lie that has gained mainstream. People put it out there as fact, and it's not true. Mm-hmm. J.J. said, "Well, there was no plan. Mm. There was a plan. You changed the plan." J.J. changed the plan, maybe with Kathleen Kennedy, maybe together, but the episode 9 that was planned. Like I said, if you read the Colin Trevorrow script, Duel of the Fates, it's a coherent arc. There was a plan. You took that 9th chapter, threw it out, rewrote it, and then went and told the press there was no plan. No, you changed the plan. There was, you changed it, and then told everyone there wasn't one to begin with.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into our Wheel of Doom, we have a super chat from Latin Shark here, $2 super chat. Thank you for contributing and being a channel member. What did you watch this week? Any shout outs for stuff you watched this week?
Shout out to Starfleet Academy. I went. How can I put this? I have some thoughts. Boy, do I have some thoughts.
But you watched it, right? You would recommend people to watch it? Yeah.
Watched.
I'll watch it. Go ahead.
Watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms earlier this evening, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it because I've been, a little removed from the Game of Thrones IP for a while. I loved the first 5 seasons of the original show. Loved season 1 of House of the Dragon. Everything else I was either middling to not so crazy on. But I got to say, I loved how this pilot went, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the season goes.
Okay. Anything you want to shout out, Joe? Movies, TV shows?
I mean, I loved Starfleet Academy. We're only 2 episodes in. It's hard to say where something's going to go this early, but I believe the raw potential is there to be the best Star Trek series since Deep Space Nine.
Wow.
They have enough storyline opportunities. That's one of the beautiful things about Deep Space Nine was they had more story opportunities open because of the setting, the space station setting, and having Bajor and having ships. You could tell starship stories. You could tell politics stories. You could tell stories about what's going on Bajor. It gave them more opportunities than just your standard starship show. And this show has something similar going with the Earth setting, but it's also a ship, and they can go out, and they got more story opportunities available to them than just about any other show. So I don't know that it's going to be the best, but it has the raw potential to be one of the best. And then also 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which is the best movie in the franchise of those 4 films.
I can tell you what I didn't watch, or I don't recommend. I did watch it, but then I turned it off. And this is not a Grace Randolph thing. I'm not grading it on a scale. I did not enjoy a movie I watched on Shudder called Beast of War. I think it's a shark movie.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I watching? It was very weird. I didn't enjoy it.
It's one of the movies of all time.
Okay. And I'm watching a show on Shudder right now. I got into a little Shudder rabbit hole called The Creep Files. Have you ever seen the movie Creep?
Yeah.
It's a show based on that where it's like a series of short stories of him. I don't want to spoil the movie if people haven't seen it. It's a series of short stories based on the main antagonist, and it's pretty good. I enjoyed the first couple episodes.
So it was the X-Files show based off the movie X? Kidding.
Yes, 100%. So there we go. See here. Columbia Rican says Starfleet Academy is good, and I recommend the show. Xana says, anybody watch the new Game of Thrones? Yeah, Jake shouted it out.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah,
just came out. Yeah. Jaybird said, I still haven't seen Starfleet Academy. I think I finished Strange New Worlds. Well, I think you'll enjoy Starfleet Academy if you enjoy Strange New Worlds.
In the middle of Strange New Worlds right now.
Yeah, and I would say that, I'll just go ahead and say it. I really dig Starfleet Academy. I came into it ready to rip this thing apart. But because all the promotional materials, like, oh, this is gonna be like Dawson's Creek,
not 0210, right? You were like,
yeah, this is gonna be like some teen drama, but in space. I was like, oh boy, come on, let's give it to him. I was like, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think that the hate is definitely manufactured for.
Yeah, now that it's out and I've seen it, I was like, okay, yeah, this stuff's this made.
It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it's not bad. Like if you don't like it, it's fine, but it's not.
Yeah,
bad.
there's even some parts in the second episode. I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah, the second one was for me was the weaker of the two, but I think that I think the show is good. So
yeah, it was just, maybe that part just wasn't for me. That was kind of like the teen dramas just creeping. I was like, all right, come on, guys, let's get it on.
All right, here we go. We got our wheel, and this is a different one.
So many colors.
So, yes, we're doing your favorite sidekicks. Now, the way this works is it's a very loose interpretation of sidekicks. It can be like a protege, or it can be a supporting character that teamed up with the antagonist. It's a very loose definition of sidekicks. So, we're going to do 3. So, in the chat, it's been a while since we've been able to do this. We're going to be doing, hold on, let me think of a good fruit. Actually, pizza is good, and...
broccoli's bad?
Broccoli's bad. Okay, pizza good, broccoli bad. Okay? Marvel doesn't have a lot of sidekick characters, and that kind of was on purpose, the way they designed the Marvel Universe. Spider-Man was their DEI younger sidekick character. They got sidekicks later, but early on there wasn't as many.
I mean, there were still a number of sidekicks in the early days.
Well, Marvel was established around teams. Like there was a lot of teams in Marvel that were pretty big. The sidekick thing came in a little bit later for Marvel. DC established sidekicks very early on, going from Golden Age to Silver Age. That's when the sidekick stuff really kicked off.
I mean, when did Bucky Barnes come out?
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider Bucky to be like the equivalent of every Marvel character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
He still counts. So
yeah, he was definitely a sidekick.
Here we go. Who's up first?
Oh my!
All these moving colors. I'm gonna have a fucking seizure.
Oh, it looks like Jake is up first. All right.
So, first one I'm going to go with, I have to say this name carefully because if I just say part of the name, it's going to be taken as something completely different. This comes from a game franchise, and this sidekick actually went on to have his own game, which is one of my favorite games of all time. That's Diddy Kong. I have to say that name carefully just because if I said part of it, it'd be bad. Yeah. No, I love Diddy Kong as a character. You know, he was just like a good parallel to Donkey Kong. You know, it was fun seeing the two of them together. Of course, there was no like dialogue there or anything between them, but just seeing the hijinks between them in the games that they appeared in together. You know, whether it's the mainline Donkey Kong games or even something like the Smash Brothers games where you saw them in story cutscenes together. Always loved him as a character. I honestly prefer him to Donkey Kong and his game, which is Diddy's Kong Quest. That is one of my favorite games of all time. Love it to bits.
Throw the pizza slices up if you like Jake's choice. Pizza slices for Jake, and make sure if you want, you could put the person's name next to the pizza so we know who it's for. All right, so that's Jake's first one. Who we got next?
Am I going to go again?
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right, cool. Okay, so jumping into comics a little bit for this next one. There's a bunch of ones I could go with here. Decided to go. I didn't want to go with the biggest recognizable ones. This character's been done in live action before, only a single time that I know of, and they were done really well in their only live action appearance so far. But just speaking of the character overall, I'm gonna go with Roy Harper, Arsenal. Actually, really like the character a lot, and he kind of resembles things that I was going through as a teen. Like he struggled with, getting a little bit personal here, I guess. Reading that character that struggled with a lot of addiction issues in the area they grew up, because of how that resonates with, my history and what I was going through at the time. I resonated with that character a lot. Loved what they did with him in Arrow. He was one of my favorite characters in Young Justice, and he's just always a character that I was happy to see. And then whenever
Jaybird.
Jaybird's
comment.
Oh, jeez. Whenever he and Jason Todd and Scarlett got that Red Hood and the Outlaws series together, I thought that was great. So yeah,
the pizza slices are flying for you tonight, Jake. Look at that.
Yeah, I've always loved Roy, so that's who I was going with.
Let's see if Jake gets to go again.
Let's gonna throw out all of mine immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Oh, wait. Oh, Omega. All right.
Hey, I'm gonna go from bottom to the top here. Ahsoka Tano.
Ooh, all right.
Clone Wars. Yeah, because I
good fucking
hated
choice.
It. Yeah, I hated Ahsoka at first. I did not like this chick at first until later on in the Clone Wars series. I was like, oh, she's actually kind of cool. Then when she goes off on her own, especially the arc where she was tried for, not treason, but something or other. I can't remember. But that's kind of where she got pissed off with the Jedi Order and left.
Yeah.
That's what she was like. Okay, she became one of my favorite, sidekicks, I guess, in Star Wars. But yeah, I hate her at first, love her now,
and now has her own show. So
yeah. Excited for season 2 of that.
That's the story arc of side characters, sidekicks. They start here, but then they go off and do their own thing.
Oh my god!
Wow, man,
throwing yours all out.
I mean, this is such a change of pace compared to how these lists usually go.
Well, this is a new wheel, so maybe that's why.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with another one from a game here, and Omega might be the only one that knows who this character is. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this is a game that almost 3 decades old too. I'm going with Aka from Skies of Arcadia.
Ooh, yeah. Knowledge.
I saw him.
Love Ika.
I knew he would do it. I love
Ika.
I love Ika so much. Like honestly,
Ika, whatever.
Yeah, honestly, Vice's whole party is full of a bunch of badass characters, but I loved Aka a lot because the dynamic that she has with Vice, the lead character, how just is a no BS type chick. She doesn't look imposing in the slightest, but screw with her.
She's the scariest one in the group.
Right. You screw with her for 1 second, you will regret it instantly. And she is, loyal to the end, sticks by Spice is not afraid to shit talk somebody like Drachma. That's
that's going to be a niche pull. If y'all can look at a video pirated, I mean, the game's 30 years old. Like it was on the Dreamcast and GameCube. Like find a way to get like an emulator or something. Play Skies of Arcadia. The game's amazing.
Yeah, it is so good, and that is one of the games that needs not a sequel but an HD remake.
Mm-hmm. They had a re-release on the GameCube.
Yeah, well, it was like Skies of Arcadia Legends.
Legends. They added some extra stuff.
Which honestly, I think that's the better version of the game to play.
I just played the Dreamcast version.
Fair enough. But no, I love that one.
Let's see.
Someone said not a clue, but here's a pizza.
yeah, that's a niche one.
I had a feeling you'd be the only one that get it.
Finally.
Looks like it's Joe's go.
All right. I'm going to go obscure for this one. A character I bet a lot of people don't even know. And I'm going to share an image down below. Everybody knows that Guy Gardner is one of my favorite characters. Guy Gardner is my favorite Green Lantern. But what a lot of people don't know is Guy Gardner, there's an origin for Guy Gardner's haircut. Guy Gardner's hero growing up was General Glory. And General Glory's sidekick was Ernie the Battling Boy. And there's Ernie the Battling Boy, and Guy Gardner based his haircut on Ernie the Battling Boy.
What?
So I'm going with Ernie the Battling Boy.
Oh, that is a deep pull, dude. I never heard of this character. Let me look him up. Is it Bernie the Battling Boy?
Ernie the Battling Boy. General Glory's sidekick.
Chat, is it pizza or is it broccoli? I don't know.
I don't think chat's hungry.
I'm about to cook something like as soon as we get out here at like 2 in the freaking morning.
So am I, because I'm getting hungry too. Finally, I get a chance. I'm gonna go with someone unexpected probably, and I'm gonna say Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Good one.
I would consider him a sidekick, a supporting character to the lead character.
Yeah, science.
Such a great character and a great show, by the way. Have to give him a shout out. I don't think that show would have been as good without him. I think he definitely added to the series. So, got to go with Jesse Pinkman. So
he was the Robin to Walter's Batman.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Do I get pizza for that? I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh, no, I love Jesse.
Yeah.
All right.
I admit I haven't seen all of Breaking Bad, just bits and clips here and there, but it's just I don't want to get locked into a whole freaking series.
It is big, woke, casually bisexual Joe's go. Yeah. So
I'm gonna call back to this own stream earlier on. Who did I say my favorite Flash was? I'm gonna go with Kid Flash, Wally West.
Oh, okay.
Who would go on to become my favorite?
You said that he was the one that you really followed, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like I started reading comics in the early 80s, around 82, 83. That's when I started really reading comics. And by 85, Barry Allen was dead. So from 87, 85, he becomes the Flash. 87, his series starts. So from 1987 until the early 2000s, Wally was the Flash, and that was the primary years I was reading comics.
And he's historically known as the fastest Flash.
Yep.
And I think he had the two greatest runs of any Flash. For 8 years, Mark Waid was the writer on The Flash, and Mark Waid's run on The Flash was amazing. And then when Mark Waid left, people were like, well, it's not going to be as good. Nope, Jeff Johns came in and was like another 8 years, and it was great. So it was amazing.
It still wasn't as good, but
all right. Let's see what we got here.
Return of Barry Allen is one of the best Flash stories ever made, though.
It is I'm going to go with possibly one of the best sidekicks of all time. And this is a character who doesn't really fit, I guess, the normal sidekick spot, but I've always felt like he was the sidekick to this main character, and that is Chewbacca to Han Solo.
Mhm.
I think he fits the
honestly-
criteria of a sidekick.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. The only pushback I have is like, Wookiees live to be like 400 years old, and Han Solo was kind of like his dog.
Right.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I guess you could reverse the roles on that one.
But yeah,
So-
but in terms of the storyline and from the audience's point of view, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Man, it's just going to be me and Omega left. Joe is getting his final pick. What you got,
What are we
Joe?
gonna do tonight, Brain? Thank you.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, that's a good one. Pinky and the
Voiced by
Brain.
Robert.
What do you say? Voiced
I was
by-
gonna say I'm gonna get his name right. I think it's Robert
Yes.
Paulson.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
Rob.
Rob Paulson.
Yeah. Met the guy too. Great person.
Yeah, Chris, the wheel has betrayed me once again. I agree.
How's it feel, Eric?
All right. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Let's see if I can at least come in not last, even though Omega's up here twice. I call shenanigans. Wait, never mind. It's not shenanigans. It is totally fair.
Wow. I had a feeling this was gonna happen.
Totally fair. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I didn't remove my name. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that. I'm gonna go with a character many people don't know. One who went on to be a main character and great in their own right, and that is Dick Grayson, Robin.
Who? I was about to say, if we get through this whole thing and no one brings up a Robin, that's going to be crazy.
Robin is the prototype sidekick, in my opinion. I think he's the one that he might not have been the first, but he's the one that everybody's based on. Like, he's the character that everybody, and he's had the ups and downs, like the write-in contest on killing off a character and who to replace them with, and all that shit that happened back in the day, and all the drama with Batman and adopting kids and turning them into like vigilantes and
So
all of that.
Well, Dick wasn't the one that had the write-in contest. That was Jason. But
Jason, no, but it was after Dick was removed as the sidekick, though.
Well, yeah, because people hated Jason as Robin so much.
Yeah.
And who amongst us doesn't love Dick?
Well, is everybody casually bisexual now? I don't know.
No, I don't. Sorry.
I just realized there's no point spinning the wheel because Omega is the only one
it's
left
just
on
me.
the wheel. So
Okay. My number 2 would be BD1 from the Jedi Fallen Order Survivor series.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay.
No, I'm not married. Perpetually single. But yeah,
Married.
BD1 was a great little sidekick, especially how he would, when you hit the start menu, pull up the map, he would just hop up on your shoulder and just project the map up there.
Yeah.
Married
Shoots
to
out
his
the little,
online wife.
healing capsules. It shoots out the little capsules when you need healing.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, BD1's great. I love him.
Yeah, he is pretty much like Droid Snoopy.
And what is your last one, Omega?
Garrus Vakarian from Mass Effect.
Ooh.
He was
Best
with you
squad
from the
member.
start and stays with you all. Yeah, he's a great squad member. And the first game was kind of wonky to begin with, but especially from the second game on, dude was amazing.
God, I love Garrus. He's so damn good.
Yeah, he's rarely. Only reason I would not take him is because I want to try somebody else. And they're like, all right, Garrus, bring your ass back in here.
And then, like, the only time I wouldn't take him is in Mass Effect 3 when you get to Thane.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Joe.
That's a damn
And-
good
Low hanging
I
fruit.
wanted to say I wanted to say Javik, but he was only in 3, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
Garrus would be a better choice.
Yeah,
for this.
see, me and you were the only ones who went from games.
I actually had one game in mind, and that was Luigi. I was going to do Luigi from Mario.
okay.
It was
Ooh,
one,
that'd
but-
be good one, too.
Yeah.
So, chat, now's your chance to tell us who had the best list.
Yeah, I'm actually
Drop the
curious.
name now if you had the best list, and you can drop more pizza slices if you want. And we're going to look at the poll over in the Reloaded chat while you guys do that. And I'm going to read off what the options are before we wrap it up. Since we hit the goal, here are your options. A bonus Nerdcast earlier in the night. So it means I'll do a stream at some point earlier, much earlier than now. So like an evening nerdcast. DCU must-haves, basically things we want to see in the DCU. It doesn't have to be characters or movies. It can be TV shows. It can be DCU video games, tie-in comic books, whatever we want to have in the DCU.
You know what I'll be pulling for that one?
What if stream / hot takes? So basically, we're going to be talking about what if something would have happened and then why we feel that way. So it's like a hot take into what we think they should have done instead. And the last one is ranking Nicktoons. So any Nicktoons cartoons that you want to rank in your top 3, top 5, whatever. Let's see. So who do we got in the chat here? Says Omega. Columbia is giving you a shout out for your list. Jaybird says Jake. Eric Crash says all of the above. Hassan says I had the best. And then the rank is Eric, Jake, Omega, Joe at the bottom. Joe at the bottom of the list. Chris here says, I think I got to give it to Omega, but I didn't give a single negative to anyone's pick, so that's a win for. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody.
Lone Wolf had his own list of sidekicks.
Yeah, I see here.
Oh, Angel! Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So $5 super chat from Lone Wolf. He's going to give us 5 of them. Jesse Pinkman, number 1. I totally agree. Castiel from Supernatural. Yeah. Nightwing. Okay. Angel from Dexter and Watson from Sherlock. That's an OG one there.
Oh yeah.
That's a deep Dickin as Joe would call it there. Going all the way back to Watson.
Well, I would say, hey, yo, pause, but no, never mind.
Hassan brings up another good one. John Henry Irons, best adaptation of Steel by far from Superman and Lois.
I love that version of that character.
But yeah,
so good.
I think that needs to be the gold standard for how
More than Shaq?
More than all the animated ones. I think he's the best one, period.
I mean, there haven't been that many animated ones, though. Like, you had the one in the Timverse, and then you had the one in the Reign of the Superman movie. And then I think Superman Doomsday had a version of Steel, but even then I might be wrong on that. But yeah, a lot of ones weren't memorable.
Do you know what the best moment in the Shaquille O'Neal Shaq movie was?
Oh, no.
The moment where the credits started.
When Richard Roundtree made him the hammer. Yeah, have you all seen the movie?
Yes, yeah.
When Richard Roundtree made him the hammer and he goes, "This is the hammer I made for you." My favorite part is the shaft.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Let's see what people pick.
Steel? The really sad thing about Steel is that because that movie exists, Batman and Robin was not the worst comic movie of 1997.
I disagree. I will take Steel over Batman and Robin. Any day.
Wow.
No chance.
All right. So with a percentage of 37, DCU must-haves won. So that is what we're going to be talking about. Okay. One of the streams. So.
All right. I know what shirt to wear then.
And this can be anything. So it's 3 things that you think the DCU must have for you personally. And that can be, again, cartoons, live action TV shows, movies, tie-in comics, freaking movies, whatever you want it to be. Does Dokes count? He worked with Dexter. $2 super chat from Lone Wolf.
I don't think he was a sidekick though. He was an antagonist. He was at odds with Dexter.
I don't know. What do you think, Jake? Jake looks like he's shaking his head.
I'll give you Masuka. He counts as a sidekick.
I don't know about Dokes.
Anthony says no. And Jaybird says Dokes is more of an antagonist. Maestro says, I love Batman and Robin.
It's bad, but it's fun to watch.
Pagey is my sidekick. I'll take it.
So don't let him hear that. I was going to say, like, honorable mention, if you're going back to games, would be Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. Just how she just finds stuff and gives you ammo every now and then. I was like, oh, thank you.
I'll see another one going back to games would be Daxter from Jack and Daxter.
Or Tails from Sonic.
Yeah,
I was thinking Tails, but Tails is more annoing. I think Tails is better.
Knuckles from Sonic.
I don't know. He's really a sidekick.
Just please, no one say Slippy.
How about Launchpad from?
Wait, Slippy? Michael Felcher? Slippy?
No, The frog slipping.
Star Fox.
Oh, okay. Staggervore here with 199 super chat says Launchpad from Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, I love
Oh, yeah. Good one. Who's Slippy? Slipping's that annoying ass frog from Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll.
Always gets his shit wrecked, and he's like, "Fuck, get this guy off me!" I'm like, "Fend for yourself, you fucking frog."
If you want to laugh, go watch the Slippy, like, it's a YouTube video with all of his like complaints when you're playing him. It's really bad.
I'll take Falco over Slippy any day of the week.
All right, so we're going to jump out of here. Shout out to Darren and Ronan, who both came in and hung out with us. So we do appreciate them being here as usual. And now we're going to go around the clockwise here. Joe, what do you got going on your channels this week?
Live stream tomorrow night over on Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I dropped a review today for Bone Temple, 28 years later, the Bone Temple. And tomorrow I'm dropping my top 10 films of 2025 on the concession stand. And there's also more stuff to come on the Adventure Channel, but I haven't been able to get out of the house this week because I'm a chauffeur this week.
Okay.
For the kids.
What about you, Jake? What's going on?
Well, I've been doing a little bit of work for the channel. Gave the Lost Level stream layout a little bit of a touch up, if you will. Going to be adding some things to it in the coming weeks. Give it a little bit more of a visual flair. You might have saw earlier in when I put my camera off in StreamYard, but I gave the YouTube channel itself a new image. That's what we're looking like now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, did that. Got a few things coming this week. One of them is a ranking. One of them is an hour-long discussion video that I did with a co-host, and then I've got a rewrite that I did, and then kind of the norm outside of that, rankings, retro reviews, let's plays, all that jazz. I'm really trying to get a bunch of stuff out there, not do what Marvel's done, where they just throw a bunch of shit out because they don't care about it, but actually get stuff out in an orderly manner to meet a deadline, if you will. So that's what we're going with.
All right. And Omega, anything going on with you?
Well, basically, this year I'm celebrating 20 years on freaking DeviantArt. I've been at this for about 26. I've been at this for like almost 25 years. I actually started posting on another site. I just don't post anymore for whatever reason. But I started posting on DeviantArt for almost 20 years ago. Uploaded something not too long ago. I'm working on something now. I got a couple of days off, so I'll probably slap something together.
Okay.
Nice. It's been an old sites. Anybody remember back in the day, for any Nintendo fans, anybody remember the Nintendo Insider forums? I don't know if anybody here was on those or not.
Nah, I was a Sega fanboy. I was on the Sega forums for a bit until they just got rid of those.
Fair. Yeah, good. Didn't that close like around 2008, 2007, somewhere around there?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that was around the same time Insider closed. It was like they all just crashed and burned simultaneously.
Yeah, they probably didn't know what to do with it. It was like, yeah, we're not dealing with this.
No, and honestly, I'm surprised that the Serenos Forest Fire Emblem page even lived after that, because that was the dark time for that franchise. Everybody thought it was dead, but then it came back, and it's the only one of those that's still alive.
I ain't play Fire Emblem until it was like on the Game Boy Advance.
Hey, that's the golden age. Hell, I got one of them right here.
Yep, that's the one I played.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this is like Shining Force. This game is great.
Yeah, so it's basically for anybody who's played Advance Wars. Fire Emblem is basically Advance Wars with swords and magic.
Basically.
I mean, this
you play Shining Force, Final Fantasy Tactics, one of those strat JRPGs.
Yeah.
Great game.
Even there was an old computer game too, like in the late 90s. It was called like Lords of Magic, I think is what it was called. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it kind of shares elements of that.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to jump out of here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I will be live again on Thursday. Make sure you check out all the channels. Daily uploads will resume tomorrow now that I'm no longer sick. So there'll be a couple of videos coming out tomorrow, and then we'll get back on a regular schedule. All right, see everyone later. Have a good night, and we'll talk. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.